Let us in. Let us into your hearts and bums.
Let us check the Yotabe. It is.
The
It
Yotabes.
is here.
Yep. We are on. Okay, so as always, welcome back.
My camera isn't on though.
It should be.
I can't hear the music.
Oh yeah, your camera isn't on because because you haven't been here. There you are. Oh yeah, and for some reason, Theo and Mike are out of sync. That's weird.
Look at me when I was in my prime.
That's weird. You in your right.
Wasn't that like a week ago?
Oh, I wish.
Sure was. Right, let me join as Blankman. Blank McBlank. And now we are all in the correct places. Okay, welcome friends. We are in and we are back. Aidan will join us shortly, as always. Today is a very exciting instalment of the Journeyman Questers, as today, as we all know, we were blessed on this very day, 10 years hence, a decade ago on this day. A very special game was released by Bethesda Studios, a game in which shaped our lives forever and shaped the world. And that game was Skyrim by
Fallout 4 on mobile.
Skyrim VR on Steam. It was the original.
Skyrim on your printer.
The day we all took an arrow to the knee.
A day indeed. And what a day it was. I remember it vividly. My anecdote is that I was at university at the time, and I was in first year, and I was in halls, and I was in the studio with a good friend Daryl, who used to play a dwarf barbarian known as Alan, who had rabies. And,
Alan the male.
Alan the male. And I got a text from my flatmate, Bridget, who was like, "Oh, a package has arrived for you." And I looked at Daryl, and he knew, and I knew, and we got up from our seats and we just left. We left the studio and we ran all the way back to my flat, which was only about 10 minutes away, and we sprinted, literally like screaming and like singing Oblivion related songs and throwing like our arms about like swords. And I remember running down the kind of hall's corridor, and it was there as a little DVD, case Xbox 360 package. And I leapt at it like a cat, and on my back disemboweled it, ripping it into pieces. And then we just stayed up for the rest of the entire day and night playing it. Because I got it first, Daryl just sat there and watched me play it, and that was amazing because it's fun having like someone there to experience it with you. Oh my god, we were absolutely losing our minds, and it was so good.
I fucking yeah.
And to that, a cheers, everyone. A cheers to
Cheers.
that. A cheers all round. A chug-a-lug.
What's everyone's favourite
From the
sound at the
finest,
moment?
from the finest brewery, meadery.
Huntingbrew mead indeed. And with that, let us raise a glass, boil up a pot, brew a cask.
Harvest some deadly nightshade.
What else? Kill a Thalmor.
Kill a Halmot. Slay a spider or two.
Be hit into the air by a troll.
Stab a mud crab.
No, a giant. Stab a mud crab.
Sign up to the lowly ranks of the Stormcloaks.
Sell your goods to Bellathor.
Narfi's sister.
Give a coin to Narfi. Find the bones of Narfi's dead sister.
Take Good in a cave.
Sacrifice someone to one of the gods. Take a seat, buy the half, and enjoy a fine brew with the fucking Journeyman Questers.
Oh, the Journeyman Questers. Oh, here we are. Oh, here we are.
Foos.
Row. Da.
Why won't you die?
Oh,
Who's playing that music out loud?
You never should have come. You never should have come.
I think Rupert might be playing the music out loud.
Am I? Oh,
No headphones for you.
is it? It might be my mini rig.
Probably is. So,
Maybe not.
we have today a lovely catch-up that will be presented by none other than Michael Thomas. However, we're going down a different route from the catch-ups from now on, where rather than doing a catch-up yourself and reading it as your character, instead, we are going to be writing our catch-ups for each other to read as their characters. This is a test one to start with, because this was actually just a chat. I believe it was just a chat bit of text to actually catch Josh up, who hasn't been here for a couple of weeks. And Rupert wrote that, but Mike is going to read it out as Dutch or just as you?
let's struggle along with Dutch.
Okay, take it away. Take it away, Mike.
We relayed info before heading out after dinner to gather more night intel. Dutch, Dylan and Zoom went to the estate to see if they could infiltrate. They walked the circumference of the estate, which took them a good 2 hours, before attempting to break in. In order to do so, Dutch turned into a werebeast and went invisible, while Zook turned himself and Dutch into rats to hide in Dylan's pockets. They scaled the walls invisible and avoided scents being detected by a clutch stealth roll from Dylan of a 30. Proceeding to the estate proper, the service entrance on the corner of the estate was found and Dylan picked the lock, gaining entry. We had a poke around inside, sussing out the inside of the estate. A large main hall sat in the centre with a main staircase leading to the second floor. Corridors ring the outside of the building with smaller staircases leading up. On the first floor, there were bed chambers and lounges, as well as a room full of model ships, an apparent hobby of Lord Balthazar's. Heading upwards, we scouted 2 more floors, and a third top floor we found a door. Peering closely, Dylan identified a magical trap enruned on the wood beside the door. Stretching out to the right was a long gallery with windows that opened up to a balcony. We exited the balcony and saw a window adjacent to the balcony, led inside what appeared to be a bedchamber. Zook turned into an owl and flew over to peek inside, and Dylan climbed around bringing Rat Dutch with him in his pocket. Another magical room was etched on the window. Peering in, we could see a lavish bedchamber and bookcases. There was ever so slightly ajar, with a stream of light emerging from it. Waiting a while, the bookcase flung open, bathing the room in light, revealing a man in fancy nightrobe. He pressed a red book and bookcase closed. Before retiring to bed, he suddenly panicked and lay at rest on his chest, somehow reassured by the presence of something strung around his neck. Many a clue revealed. Meanwhile, Rufus and Richter had headed for the Coin and Kiln Inn within the merchant's ward after Zook informed them a couple of... Oh, fuck, I'm gone. There's just so many words and it's so hard to read off a fucking screen.
You can do it.
Reading is hard, yeah.
Reading is fucking hard, man.
Writing's the easy bit. They get you started early.
Why are you so quiet? What's going on?
Rupert, you've got a Skyrim circle on. Beautiful.
Look at what
I've
he's
also
sipping. Look at what he's supping on.
A delicious...
Oh, honey brewed meadery. Although, I don't know, man, there's some weird stuff in those stills. I seem to recall tipping quite a lot of rat poison
Look
into
at
that
that
still.
background,
taken to the
son.
dungeon.
Look at that background. Yeah.
Oh,
And cheese
Yeah.
wedges. Sorry, carry on, Mike. Carry on.
basically, Zook informed them a couple of guards from the estate he had overheard talking of going for a drink at the establishment. Their names, Liz and Jasken. Perhaps a morsel of insight knowledge could be gleaned that might save the gypsies time, exertion, or even their lives. Basically, Rupert wrote a really good catch-up, and I fucking butchered it.
So, Aidan, just to catch you up, all Mike did was he's reading the catch up that the Rupert wrote for Josh, because Josh hasn't been here for a bit, so it's like really meta. But from now on, we're going to start doing catch ups where you write a catch up for someone else's character, and they have to read it as their character. So it becomes a bit piss-takey and meta. So we're going to start doing that.
Whoever writes Dutches, so writes for me, ever, could they write it monosyllabically? So like we, full stop.
Went kill, big thing.
Yeah, you should write it like, hey, I'm Dutch and I'm angry. Like, you write such a funny thing. Anyway... I've got a little catch up of my own as well, that I wrote myself, definitely. So let's begin today's session. Hey, you're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us, and that thief over there. Damn you, Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't have been looking for you, I could have stolen that horse and be halfway to Hammerfell. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's like a whole page.
Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I thought you had organised a 10th anniversary Skyrim adventure where we just do the first dungeon.
I mean, I would.
We're just going to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Oh my god! But we got things to do. So we find ourselves in the city of Xanthar. Zook, Dutch, and Dylan have just made their way out of the estate, the Guild of the Midnight Mercers. You've just snooped around it, as Mike just told us, and you've gathered some serious pertinent information. The layout of the building, as well as the location of potentially who you assume maybe was Lord Balthazar and his bed chambers, as well as entrances, exits, stairwells, the grounds themselves you've seen pretty well, and you've snuck in. And at this point, I would say we ended the session with you guys about to leave, right? You hadn't left quite yet. So are you guys going to stick around, or were you going to leave at this point?
Oh, interestingly. Oh, no, actually, I don't know. What do we think?
Well, you guys are rats under my hat right now.
That's true. So I'll ask that to Dylan. Dylan, what? Oh no, you're an owl, right? So
I'm an owl. Yeah.
Knowing that don't have long left of my invisibility, I think to myself that I should probably find my way out of the estate.
Okay. In that case, make me a stealth check, please. And I'd like a stealth check from both of the rats as well, with advantage.
Could someone roll for me while I go and get my ducks?
Sorry, only rat. Owl, I assume you're flying.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
In
roll
which case,
20.
just a straight roll from you, please.
I mean, if I turn into a pigeon, or a common bird first, and then fly away, are they going to care if they see me?
Just roll a stealth check anyway, unless you just aren't particularly doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and stealth anyway.
Oh, shit.
I think that's only an 11 for me.
Okay.
24.
A 24.
24.
Roll.
Making your way. How are you going to scale back down, or are you going to make your way back through the interior? The drop from where you are is probably about 30 feet. 30, 40 feet.
How hard would it be to climb down?
Am I in rat?
You're a rat, but you're in his pocket.
Oh, calm. Is there any food in here?
In the pocket?
Yeah, like any crummage.
I don't know. Ask
Nibble his thigh a little.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of like, there's maybe a bit of pocket jerky.
You're quite muffled,
fuck
Theo.
yeah.
There's maybe a bit
That's
of pocket jerky.
for you, pal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
It
I'll have
just
pocket jerky.
sounds a bit underwater.
Okay. It's probably actually because the Chromebook's got a really shitty sound card.
Oh, it might be that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too difficult to scale down, although there are ledges and slight overhangs, so it could be bad.
Oh no, the hounds are onto us.
That you can hear hounds barking occasionally throughout the grounds.
Very nice.
I'll scale down. Why not?
Okay. Make me an athletics check, please.
Is it an athletics?
Mhm.
Or can I do that? Yeah.
You can do acrobatics if you want to leap down from the top. But it's a 30-foot drop, which is pretty high.
Ooh. Yeah, that is high.
Yeah, but you're a fucking ghost ninja. Let's go.
I will.
One time.
Dutch in my pocket, like, kind of, it's a bit weird. Like something starts to move, and you like start to get pressed up against inside the pocket, and like a bit squished. And that's as I use my second hybrid transformation. So I have a bit more athletic kind of capabilities to be able to make my way down.
Yeah.
All right, make me the athletics check then.
Okay.
Guidance.
You
You're a
can't guidance
rat.
me as a.
Just squeal in a holy manner.
It's 18.
An 18. An 18 is sufficient. There's a slight overhang, but your slightly clawed, muscular arms now, you manage to kind of grip, slide round, and scale down. You do notice you have left some claw groove marks in the stone. Very subtle. You imagine no one will see, you hope. But you make it down to the bottom. And with the stealth roll that you rolled before, you begin to make your way out of the grounds. Takes some time to make your way through the gardens, the sort of hedgerows and small fountains and kind of like soft mossy grasses, and eventually through the wooded area where you can see still patrolling men with small packs of dogs, maybe 2 or 3 dogs. But you hold up under a tree, wait for them to pass, and continue on. And it doesn't seem that they have smelt you, even with their great sense of smell. You continue on, and eventually you leap your way over the wall back out onto the street, the large sort of open cobbled streets of the guild ward, the working guilds. And with that, and the owl flying... Oh, well, you turn into a pigeon, right, Zook?
Yeah.
Flying out, seeing... Well, you wouldn't see him, interestingly. But you
no.
two leaving the area. We're going to flick over to the others. So, we left off the week before last that we last played with Ruthus and Richter and Gannon making their way to the kiln and I don't have it written down right in front of me.
Coin? Kiln and coin?
Kiln and coin. Yes, the kiln and coin. You are about 50 to 60 feet off from the tavern. In fact, let's put some town music on.
Oh, Josh, that mercenary behind you is so
You
good.
put Ragnar the Red on.
This is Belrand.
Belrund.
Belrand, my favourite my favourite companion of them all.
Oh, you always used to play with him, and then didn't he die like at the top where Parthenax was? And you couldn't find him for ages, and you went back there or something.
Oh, we went through some stuff together. I refused to fast travel, so we journeyed the countryside for many days. And, he eventually died at the top of the mountain, and I gave him a burial, and then I never got a companion ever again.
Good times. I've got some good videos of Josh somewhere on my old laptop. That I put my laptop in the room, just recording him while he was playing Skyrim on his own, because he would talk to himself all the time. Josh would sit there playing, and he'd go, "Oh yeah, oh fuck, oh yeah, fucking take this, yeah." Oh hello, oh shit, fuck, shit. You'd be like swearing loads.
Ain't pretty no more. Ain't gonna be good doing no encores.
Oh, so funny.
Oh,
Anyway,
so good.
you can see the Kiln and Coin within the working guilds district is there's like benches and stuff outside, as I described it before, just to kind of remind you again. The building itself is like a 2-story sort of brick, sturdy looking building. It matches everything else around it. It's very much like a workers' pub. You can see outside there's sort of like forge masters, with aprons on still. There's a couple of like burly men and some dwarves with kind of like scruffy aprons on. Maybe they're glass workers or kind of like steel workers. Maybe even some like masons. And all manner of sort of people, but all very sort of dusty, dirty, strong, working folk, all having a good time. Lots of people sitting, smoking outside. A few people playing dice, playing some cards. There's noise. There's lots of like warm light emanating from within. And because the street's so wide, there's not really that much traffic at this time of night all around. But it's into the kind of like later hours. I think it's getting on to about sort of midnight by this point, if I remember correctly. So there's still a lot of people boozing on a working night, perhaps, at the ends of their shifts. And I believe as you approached, Richter, you were discussing with Gannon and Ruthus as how to go about your business.
Yes. I believe that Gannon gave us some very good advice, being a man who is very well versed in espionage.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yes, I believe Gannon was saying that we should be, that all the buildings at Xanthar likely have floor plans or architects attached to them, and all we would have to do is perhaps find out who had built a place, and we would be able to look things up using the rats' information networks and whatnot. So it's a matter of trying to get some info from the remind me again. Their names. We are going to meet. There's two guards here, we believe.
Two guards? Lears and Jasquin.
You're right, yes. Lears and Jasper. Yes.
Gannon, I'm worried that Richter and I aren't going to fit in very well here. We're not going to be like, sore thumbs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that. Hey, could you maybe, like, I don't know, could we break his nose or something? We could do something like that.
It's already been done.
Richter was going to have, if possible, taken a moment in the shadows to adopt a new guise. And let's spice it up. Richter will adopt the guise of Olosh, the half-orc from the Order of Dawn's Blade.
Nice. Olosh being quite a like sort of wiry, lean orc. Still tall.
Use the bow one,
Lazy.
right?
Lazy, always smoked.
Lazy.
A bit of a sort of goatee, like a stubbly goatee. Although, half orc, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, half orc.
Kind of lean build. What are you gonna wear? Because you wouldn't wear the sort of chain and plate of Dawn's Blade.
No. The clothes that Richter will be adopting will be traveler's leathers, as though of a caravan man, you might say, or a wandering trader.
Okay. Ganon just kind of pulls his leathers about him. He's got a knife that's sort of concealed around the back. He just pulls his belt around a little bit more, obscuring it. Checks his boot. He kind of puts his hand down in his boot. Yeah, should be alright. I mean, it's a working guild. People move about. Maybe we're on business. He looks towards Rufus. I mean, it's a bit fancy, that shield. I mean, and that plate.
You're right. Yes. Can I take a moment just to take off the plate and stow it in a bag?
You can sort of head maybe off a bit to it's the working guilds. Interestingly, at night there's still a lot of work happening, but there's not a lot of people on the street. So you can quite easily in the kind of open spaces find a kind of more shadowed area where there's no light. There are oil lamps and things lit in the working guilds, but it's mainly on street corners and near places that are still open. So it's quite easy to find a dark spot.
Is it possible for me to is it Presti or Thaumaturgy that you can use to snuff out fires, small ones?
I think it's Thaumaturgy.
Never mind. One thing, Rufus, how confident are you in the ability to handle animals?
One could say that I'm proficient in it.
Could they? Well,
yes.
Perhaps you would like to store your gear in the bag of withholding.
Oh, what's the deal with the bag of withholding again?
If you want to get anything out of the bag of withholding, you have to pass an animal handling check because it's going to fight you. It's gonna fight you.
Can I stow my plate in a bag, and can I put the shield in the bag of withholding?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, you're quite right, Victor. It's a risk I'm gonna have to take, I'm afraid. Here, pass it over.
Speaking of risks,
that I squeeze the shield into the mouth of the bag of withholding.
As you squeeze it in, you notice that as Victor's holding it, he's kind of shaking about. And the edges, the lips of the bag where the rope is sort of tied, it loosens and it kind of hungrily eats up the shield until, like a puppet when it's
big old foreskin.
It just it looks really satisfied. And it kind of makes a sort of little grumbly noise.
I stroke the side of the bag and whisper, "Easy, girl, easy." There.
Make me an animal handling check.
Ooh, it's a not good roll. It's a 9.
We've lost one of the stones.
It's a 9. You're stroking it, and it kind of does that cat thing where it nuzzles into you, but it soon immediately gets irritated, and you can see it it hisses and tries to nibble at your hand, but you pull it away in time.
Yeah.
I'll feist a mistress this one.
I'll argue with this bag later.
Speaking of taking risks, Rufus, there is of course the issue of your shall we say, enforced honesty. Now, of course, you cannot lie, but if you are asked a question, do you have the choice to not answer?
Of course. That is the way around it, but we should avoid a situation where I'd be forced to have to try and lie.
Perhaps we should introduce you as a mute, perhaps.
Would they know the name? Well, I guess there are people out looking for Rufus Suncrest, aren't they?
We will not be using that name.
No.
Have you a name you would like?
No, I cannot think of any.
Noah, you say? Very well.
Is that the nickname that we've just decided upon, which is now my nickname?
Yes. That's what
it
you said.
is.
You're Noah now.
That's now fact.
If anyone asks you if you're Noah, don't answer them.
Well, I can
Why
say
did we
that
bring
is my
to this?
that is my
He's
name
also
because that's
Noah.
the nickname we've decided on.
True. Yes.
There's a kind of grumble that you feel, Rufus. Just a like an old man sort of disapproving grumble.
Oh, fuck off. That's not fair.
But that's about it.
And Ganon,
understand.
perhaps you will be
Go away, Dad.
non-ag or something more inventive.
What, me?
Yes.
Well, you think Ganon's my real name?
Well, no, but is it a name that's known in the circles of this city?
It's a big city, mate. There's probably a few Ganons.
Ganon it is. All right. Information.
Now, yes, information. It is key above all things in matters of war, if you will. And how we're going to go about that? No, that is the question here.
I love your ability to hold court in an alley. I really do.
Now, seriously, I fear that we should not go down the route of trying to pretend that we are someone else, such as guards ourselves or of the ilk, as it will end badly if we're asked any kind of questions.
Out of towners.
Ganon, what do you think? What's the best way of getting information out of people?
I mean, probably violence. But
I
know
could have
what?
guessed you might be the stab first, ask questions later kind of guy.
Sometimes. I mean, more it's, I don't know, peeling their fingernails off or, I don't know, plucking an eye. I've had to do some nasty shit. But, yeah, you pretty much always get the answer you want, whether or not it's true. Good way, though. Way I've actually got information that I assume is probably real is getting out of them through some kind of bet or some kind of bribe, but where money's involved, you know. People tend to talk,
I did think,
put their money where their mouth is. A lot of people say around these parts.
These men, Lears and Jasquin, they're here to have a good time, right? They're here to let off some steam in the local tavern after a hard day's work. How about we treat them? Give them a night they'll never forget, if you will.
Where's
How
this
undercover are we going?
Well, all we have to do is, say, ply them with some alcohol, get them a little drunk,
Maybe some games.
loosen some lips. Yes, working
Again,
men like games,
you're
don't they?
You're going down that slightly salacious route with that loosen the lips comment. I'm a
Yeah,
little
I don't
concerned.
know.
Your plan.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, it's a little bit too much.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Sorry,
I'm a traditional
the bag of withholding influenced me somewhat on that phrase.
Okay. Shall we go in?
Yeah, as long as you're buying.
No, we'll be buying. Don't worry. For many, I believe. In we go. Oh, wait. Before we do, does anyone have a physical description of these men?
Guards.
What did Zook say? He said they're two guards.
Yes.
Zook, did you ever describe them or know a
I
description
didn't
of
say I did.
Okay.
them?
I could have.
Do you have a description of them?
I don't think so.
Fine. We'll work with it. Okay.
Then in that
I
case,
think-
I think it was more of overheard their names and they were guards.
Yeah, that's what I said, I think.
There you go.
Let's go in.
Well, guards of the estate. You head towards the the Kiln and Coin, and there's sort of a large. The doors are fully open, and maybe half the bar is kind of outside on tables. There's a couple of lamps. There's even like a small metal sort of fire pit that's lifted off the ground. A couple of people are kind of toasting some kind of meats over it. There's a couple of barmen walking around, clutching huge amounts of frothing tankards and putting them down onto a few of the tables. There's a large sort of brick arched doorway where the doors are fully open that leads in, and the interior you can hear there's some music playing from within. Not the sort of the Varamarkian band where fiddle and drum, but instead what sounds to be more like brass instrument. There's like brass and some kind of like bassy brass instrument that you probably haven't ever heard, like a deep kind of like kind of playing from within. And there's a bunch of people, men and women. You can see various races.
Oh my God,
inside.
it's jazz.
There's like some dwarves dancing with some half elves, and they're all kind of like all pretty burly and working types, and they're just like, looks like they're just letting off steam and having a pretty good time. There's 2 sets of stairs that lead up on either side to a kind of balcony that overlooks the kind of main tap room, and you imagine that that's where the inn part of the tavern would be located. It's a large brick sort of chimneyed roof that leads up, and it kind of resembles like a large kiln, like a pottery studio, like where you have the sort of pottery oven. The whole thing kind of leads up to one central chimney, and there's a fire blazing in the middle that's got like a brick, so people can't fall in it. It's got like a brick outlay with like a chimney coming down and resting. It's like caged in. On the other side of the bar, there is a large loxodon. I don't think any of you have ever seen a loxodon before. You might have glanced one in Xanthar as walking around, but there's a giant elephant folk. A large elephant.
You've seen one before.
Elephant folk person. Oh. A long trunk. One kind of like large tusk. The other one looks like it snapped at some point. But they're busy, with an apron on, cleaning glasses. Where are you going?
Right. You two maybe want to go up to a slightly higher vantage point to get a better look at the place. I'll get some drinks. Okay. They will, I guess, head towards the upstairs sort of balcony to overlook, and I will make my way toward the bar with the exaggerated swagger of a half-orc male.
No looks are turned your way. People are busy into their cups at this hour. And you approach the bar. The Loxodon seems to be serving someone else, but he turns, gripping the kind of napkin with his long trunk and cleaning out the inside of one of the glasses. He turns to you. Oh, hello there. I ain't seen you around this parts before. What can I get you?
Just moving through the town. How much for ale?
Oh, couple copper. If it's the house
Slap
ale
6
you're
copper.
after. Nope.
Yeah, nice and cheap. I slapped 6 coppers down for 3 tankards.
Coming right up. He turns round.
While he's serving, I want to sort of turn back, casually lean against the bar, and scan the balcony to see where my fellows are.
They would be up above the bar behind you. So, I mean, looking up, you can see they've just about walked up to the stairs. There's no tables up there, but there's a couple of people leaning and joking, smoking, and looking down on the dancing that's happening. Make me a perception check. And Rufus, you get up to the top, looking out sort of across the inside of the tap room. Make me a perception check as well. I'll roll for Gannon.
I want to try and look out for 2 guard-looking guys on their own together.
All right.
5, not good.
5.
It's a 1.
A 1. Gannon's wasn't
Natural
great
or?
Natural.
You're standing there, kind of like peering down and peering out, and someone just smacks the side of your head as they're walking past with like what seems to be a tray, and a guy with like a serving tray turns saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. No, fuck.
What is the meaning of this?
Gannon immediately
started.
steps up, like, into him. He's quite a lot taller than Gannon, but Gannon literally presses his body like, up against him, and you hear Gannon just like sort of grumbling with anger. You done touch my friend again. You're getting a shank to the ribs, you hear me? The server immediately like, I'm so sorry, and just begins kind of walking down the stairs. But you didn't see shit in that amount of time. Too distracted.
I shout after him. That's right, you bring back some drinks.
Richter, you glance up and you can hear some kind of altercation already happening in the bar. But the music's loud enough that people don't seem to be paying too much mind. There's a lot of clattering and music and things.
It's a bar.
Yeah. Gannon turns around and he's like, I got your back, Rufus, I got your back.
Gannon, did you say that we're friends?
What? No? Did I?
I give him a knowing nod and say, friends it is.
He kind of turns, looking out across the bar. I don't see nothing. What can you see him? They all look the same.
Rufus is still like trying to get like old stale ale out of his eyes. Gannon, I don't see anything here. God, the service is terrible in this place.
Richter, what are you up to?
Oh, thank you, barkeep. Oh, and how much for some nuts?
And he pulls over a bowl, slides it over to you. A silver piece.
Slip a silver over, take the bowl, and start making my way with all the tankards clutched to my chest towards the sounds of what sounds like battle happening upstairs. A little bit worried about this.
You catch up with the other two, handing them over a tankard. And you have the sort of view over the top of the rest of the tap room. There's people dancing, and the song at this point ends as the large sort of brass instrument, which is a tuba, but you don't know what tuba is, finishes, and the kind of small brass band that plays, they begin having a little break, taking some drinks, and a few people go over and hand them some coin that they're getting in a hat. And the kind of dancing settles down, and conversation begins to pick up.
Right.
Friends, I've just had an idea.
Go on.
What if we go give the band, leaning into the others, so, keeping a lowered voice. How about we give the band a donation to dedicate their next song to one Elias and Jasquin?
It's an interesting gambit. Do you know where to go from there?
Maybe suggest that they come to the bar for their free drink from a new friend. Hey, it's a way of picking them out from a crowd, right?
It is. In fact, you know what? As long as we're not there for them, as long as they don't know we're the ones who bought the drinks, they'll just be mystified, and we'll know where they are.
Exactly, and then we can approach them and when.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. All right, should I handle this, or do you want to?
Rufus looks towards Gannon. Gannon, I think you're the man for this.
Wait. So you're telling me I'm gonna pay for them to dedicate a song to these fucks, and then what am I gonna say? I'm gonna say, I've heard about you both, and I don't think you realise I'm not most persuasive of individuals.
All you have to do is give a coin to the band and say, please dedicate your song to Liz and Jasquin, and say that their new best friends in the business are there at the bar, waiting to buy them a drink.
You sure?
Yeah.
I could work with this. This works, actually.
Well, how much
I quite like this now. I give him 2 gold.
All right, fair enough. You see him begin making his way down.
Billy nods.
Gannon is human, but he's pretty short and stocky, and the longer you're with him, the more you kind of realise that perhaps there is dwarven lineage in him somewhere. He's definitely not dwarven, but he's definitely, it just doesn't feel fully human by a lot of his sort of mannerisms and other sort of like racial traits. He makes his way down. You watch him cross the bar, kind of pretty nimbly moving through the crowd, and eventually getting to the bands that are kind of like drinking. You watch him strike up a conversation with one of the half-orcs, the half-orc that was playing the larger instrument. They get chatting for a bit. And then you kind of see, in fact, watch your passive perceptions, both of you.
Oh, sorry. I always forget. What is that again?
It is 10 plus your perception.
Okay. Does that include modifiers if it's not checked?
Yeah. It's including everything.
11.
Yeah, I didn't think. And Josh's is 8.
Mine's a 7.
This is 7. That's it. Yeah. No, you don't see a lot. You just see them chatting for a bit, and then they shake hands. And then Gannon seems to walk off. He looks up towards you just for a sec, gives you a little wink, and then he stands by the bar.
I look towards Richter. We've got this in the bag. We'll find them in no time.
Oh yeah, no, this is great. I certainly hope that Gannon isn't planning to introduce himself as their best friend, but we'll work with it, whatever happens.
Right. A few moments go past, and eventually the band finishes their break. They take their instruments again. You see the tuba player talking with the rest of the group. You didn't see them palm any gold off to each other or anyone else in the band, but seemingly they're having some kind of discussion, and then they sort of nod towards the tuba player, and one of them's like this, looks a bit cross, but he picks up his lyre anyway. And the gnome, who's sort of the spokesperson of the band, kind of clears his throat, and there's a slight silence to the group in the tap room. All right, the next song is dedicated to he looks over at the tuba player, Lears and Yasquin. And there's a slight clap. The people kind of clap, and you notice people kind of just looking around, bit confused, but no one seems to step forwards. And the band begins to play. It's a jaunty tune, probably the tune they were going to play anyway, but it's a bit of kind of like a and like people begin kind of dancing again. You wait maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and eventually the song ends with a sort of and people begin sort of clapping again, and the gnome clears his throat once more. Dedicated to Lears and Yasquin. Thanks a lot. Just a little announcement. Your friends are waiting for you at the bar. Thank you. We'll be here for only half an hour more, and any of your patronage would be mighty useful to us, and we could come back at any time. Thank you very much. And they look back, and they begin playing a second song. You wait a bit, and you see an individual kind of walks outside and then comes back in with 2 figures, both wearing similar like leathers. They both have kind of short ponchos of just like a neutral sort of dark purple on that are kind of about them, but they're pretty into their cups. They're kind of staggering a little bit, like looking about confused, and they're chatting with this other guy who's pointing at the band and then points towards the bar. They kind of turn. One chucks his his tobacco ash out of his pipe, puts it away, and they begin walking over to the bar. Gannon sitting on a stool there. What are you doing?
As they start moving towards the bar, I'm going to start gently making my way across the floor and down the stairs again. Not to meet them, but to arrive at the bar sometime after they do.
Okay. Rufus,
are you coming or will you stay?
Same. Yeah, I'm just going to try and listen in, basically, to their whole conversation. Be close enough that we can hear.
All right. You make your way down, and they get to the bar maybe like 5 seconds before you, and they each flank Gannon from both sides. Gannon's just leaning there on the at the bar, and he's bought 2 more drinks. And he turns to both of them. You get there at that point, and you're just to the left. You're within earshot without having to roll a perception check. You can hear them fairly well. One of them turns and says, "Yeah, so apparently you're our best friend. Who the fuck are you?" And the other guy goes, "Yeah, who the fuck are you?" Gannon turns and says, "Well, lads, got you a couple of pints. I'm your best friend."
Shit.
He's gonna roll it.
He's gonna kill them both.
That's a 3 minus 2, which is an unnatural 1. They both look towards him, but they both take their pints anyway. They're kind of stumbling about. One of them has a sniff of it, takes a sip. "Well, best friend, do I know you?" Yeah. Gannon kind of is looking past and makes eye contact with both of you, looking like, help.
Okay, so, okay, all right, okay, new plan. Rick is going to approach the bar, not approaching them, approaching to the side while talking to Noah and say, okay, yeah, okay, right, yes, and saying, look, all I'm saying is Elven cities ain't shit, yeah? I mean, they're very pretty and everything, but the guards ain't shit. The buildings look nice, but inside they're just shit, aren't they? I mean, you know, look at this lot. Isn't it? Any reaction?
They do not give a fuck about that conversation.
Shit.
He pokes, one of them pokes Gannon a little bit, pokes his chest. "Look, friend, I never seen you in my life. I don't know who you are. Thank you for the drink. But it's a bit fucking weird, you saying."
I interject.
Dedicating a song to it. Yeah.
Reggie Woo, is that you? Fucking hell, mate, I haven't seen you in a donkey's ears.
You're looking at
Gannon.
It's
Reggie. No, yeah, I'm looking at Gannon. Yeah. Reggie.
Gannon immediately goes, "Oh, thank fuck. Yeah.
It's us, mate. It's your best friend." Oh, who this lot? Who are these two?
Right.
You brought some more friends along?
You need to make a deception roll, but Gannon is going to make a deception roll as well.
Are they drinking our pints? Deception. Shit. Oh, it cocked. One sec. Oh, it's not going to be great, but it's 14.
Enough that Gannon can play it off that he's really drunk.
The slightly larger of the two, who's between Gannon and you, who's the one who hasn't been poking Gannon, turns, puts a hand on your chest, Richter, says, "Look, I think you better fuck off. We got business with this one," and shoves you back. You kind of take a step back with the shove, and he turns around.
Can I try and calm the? Can I? Oi! That's my fucking mate, and that's my fucking drink you're drinking.
He turns around once more, and I said, "It's time for you to fuck off." And he pushes you again hard. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Fuck him up! Come on.
Let's go.
Do I have a thing? No, I don't. Never mind.
I went on the wrong fucking mission
Oh,
again.
it's good. It's good. It's 17.
A 17, you hold your ground and he shoves you and you just kind of back a bit. And it kind of looks at you confused. So you know him.
You're gonna come up to the bar, assault my friend, drink my drinks. You know how we deal with this in other towns, mate? We play some fucking games, don't we?
He leans in much closer and says, "So you're not from around here then?"
Did the half-orc face not let on that I'm not from around these parts, elf?
He's not an elf, he's a human. But
Yeah, I'm calling him an elf anyway.
he looks really confused, but he looks you up and down. He's like, fucking orcs, and he just turns around once more, like just big back blocking your way. Turns to Ganon. How'd you know our names? And who the fuck are you? It's not Reggie Woo, is it? Look at each other. The other one laughs.
He said our names. I'm Luvash. This here is Jaspari. What you not getting about this? You're mistaken. You've nicked our drinks, mate.
They both turn towards Ganon. Why'd you dedicate a song to us then?
It was to us. What aren't you
I'm
getting?
not talking to you. He talks to
Yes,
Ganon.
you fucking are, you prick.
Stab him!
Yeah, I shove him.
You shove him. He just
yeah.
falls into Ganon and like spills the drink sort of everywhere. The Loxodon appears at the bar at this point and slams a mighty hoof fist down onto the bar. I'll be having none of that round here, boys. And he gives you all
Wouldn't
an
need it
eye.
if you didn't nick my drink. Wouldn't need it if you didn't nick my drink.
He leans in. Whose drinks are these then? You paid for them, he points at Ganon. Ganon goes, looks towards you, Richter, for an answer.
They're fucking ours, aren't they? My good friend, Jaspari.
Yeah, that's right. I've made a terrible mistake. He's gonna roll. The natural 20!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
-2, but that's still very good.
Ganon.
The two of them are like, look so confused. And the Loxodon just goes, I think there's been some kind of big misunderstanding here, lads. You're all here to have a fine drink. Hey, you two there. You haven't got one? Looks like you've spilt yours, or spilt his. Who's buying?
I go ahead and I whack 10 silver down on the bar. I think we could all use a drink, don't you, lads?
They look at the silver. Roll a persuasion check, Richter.
Using money.
There we go.
And also, really enjoy the fact that a Loxodon never forgets. And you hadn't been in there before.
Oh, shit. What's 18 plus 14? It's good.
32.
32.
Oh.
Everyone turns, even Ganon like turns and looks at the silver. A couple of people elsewhere turn and look at the silver, hungry for the drinks. Loxodon scoops it up. That should last you for quite some time. I'll keep bringing the drinks over. Find yourself a table. Why don't you all, lads, and see work this one out in some civilized manner in my inn? And you all sort of nod a bit, and he gestures towards an empty booth at the side that would fit you all in, and you all begin making your way over there.
We share a table. We
DM/Loxodon.
share drinks.
The two, they look confused, but they're like, well, if you're buying, then I'm drinking. You all sit down at the table. They sort of squeeze in on one side. You three squeeze in on the other side of the booth. And you sit there in awkward silence until the drinks arrive, or what are you going to do?
Now, what I was saying before, this is quite an interesting thing. we've been all over this fucking continent, yeah? We've been to Igmiri, we've been to Thaldarau, we've even been straight into the Underdark a few times. We won't be going back there again. But this place is different. The towers, it's fucking strange. You two live here. Like, you born here.
Well, yeah, obviously. And he looks at his friend, still nudges him. Yeah, we live here. Live, work, probably die. But you know, it ain't
That's
that bad.
something.
Hey, let's sort some things out though first, right?
All right.
So we're outside, some bugger runs out saying they've dedicated a song to us. This prick here, and he points at Gannon. Hey, don't call me a prick.
A bit harsh.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
who dedicates a song to someone? Bit weird.
Well, it's a bit of a habit between the three of us, yeah? We're all travelling tradesmen. We go to different towns. We know when we're going to be in the same town. When we do, we have a big meet up in a bar and we embarrass each other by buying a song from the bard. It's just a bit of muckery, you know? Unfortunately, you seem to have been swept up in our moment of camaraderie.
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, it's good. It's 22.
A 22. They sort of look at each other and they're like, someone said that they read out our names though. How'd you explain
I mean,
that?
it's noisy in there. My name's Luvash. This is Jaspari. What are your names? It's very noisy.
They both look at each other. Yeah. I think there's been some kind of misunderstanding here, lads. Some kind of misunderstanding.
Well,
At this point, the Loxodon comes over with the drinks. Well, it looks like you guys are making up with it, aren't you? Just let me know if you need anything else. He slides
yeah,
over.
you got any hot?
Slides over a little bowl of nuts. That's
nice.
That's on the house, boys.
Oh, that's very kind of you. But you got any chicken or any ham?
Oh, yeah.
Anything hot tonight?
Kitchen's shut, I'm afraid. It's a bit late for that. But come back tomorrow, we do a fantastic roast, I tell thee.
Oh, well, I've had roasts all across this country. I'd be interested to know what an elven roast tastes like. What do they do?
Jasquin and Lear sort of look at you like, he's right. They do a pretty good roast here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What sort of thing?
Loxodon sort of wanders off. Oh, well, you know, it's the usual. Chicken, meat. I'm pretty fucked. I can't lie. Steady on, Liz.
That's
You
nuts,
haven't
mate,
had
that's
that
nuts.
much. He's a bit of a lightweight.
Meta question to Aiden. Am I supposed to be pretending that I'm mute or not?
No, I don't think we're going to do that. I think
Okay.
be shy.
One of them does turn and say, so how do you know the gnome then? Doesn't talk much to you. Doesn't drink much either. You haven't even started that pint.
Wait, who are you talking to?
To the gnome.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry, I honestly forgot he was a gnome.
Rufus looks down at his pint and picks it up and then gestures to cheers to the one that's just said that.
He's a little bit, how to put it kindly, he's a bit touched. Yeah, we just completed a trading run through Thaldarau quite recently. I don't know if you've heard about what's happened there. It's not good. It's not a good. Lost like big fucking platinum dragon. Don't know where that came from, but yeah, it messed him up a little bit. Big platinum dragon.
God, you do talk a lot, don't you, Orc?
Yeah, the Varian made a big platinum dragon, didn't he?
The platinum dragon crystallized the structure.
Have I gone quiet?
You're just lagging out.
Oh shit! Sorry.
It just sounds like you're drunk, though.
Yeah, it's fine. it goes really slow, and you talk in slow motion, and then it kind of catches up really quick. But that's what they hear anyway, because they're fucked. So, well, let me get this straight. You're all traders, and you're all from different places, and then you'll meet up here, but you've never meeting up here before because it's the first time you've been here.
Yeah, first time I've been here.
Roll me a deception check. I'm going to say with disadvantage because your story doesn't quite add up.
It literally is the first time we've been here, though. So do I need to roll the deception?
You do for the telling of the tale as traders, etc.
Okay.
You're spinning the lie.
It's not as good. It's 15.
Okay, they're both going to roll. Luckily, they are drunk. Well, so you're traders. We're mercenaries. You know, guards, protecting, that sort of thing. We're both working types.
So you're not like town guards then?
No, I don't deal with
You don't like work for the city then?
You know the kind of shit you've got to do if you work for the city. Most of the time, you're
sort of shit.
Not even doing any guard related stuff. You've actually got to do like cleaning and mopping up.
Yeah.
No, I do none of that where we are. None of that at all. I play cards most of the time. Actually, it's quite a good gig. And then we just come here and get drunk. Pretty good life.
That sounds pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So where are you working then?
Oh, just up the road. Where are you guys? You said you're travelling all over the place. What about the other two? You're talking a lot, talking about dragons and all sorts of nonsense. I want to hear from these other two. You're a gnome who looks like you've seen the world a bit. Can you tell me a story or two?
Well, what do you want to know?
I don't know.
Tell them about that big tree. That big tree we saw. Massive, wasn't it?
That big tree. You were right. That
high something. I don't know.
You know, that was the biggest tree I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
fucking big tree.
You know what? It was so big that you couldn't even see the ground when you were
those
standing
towers
on
out
top.
there. Shit. Compared to that tree.
Roll me a persuasion check, Rufus.
A 26.
They both look at each other. Wait, couldn't see. Wait, if you were in a tree but you couldn't see the ground.
Yeah.
And the other one's like, well, he is really small.
Ha! You should try saying that when you're inside a wrestling ring with me.
Wait, what? Inside a wrestling ring with you?
I know I don't look it, but I could take you. I could probably take you both, to be honest.
Roll me an intimidation check.
The thing is, he's back, and it's so good.
An 18.
I cannot lie. So you think you could beat us both?
He cannot lie. An 18. Okay, hang on.
Well, we know that's his genuine belief that you could take them.
Ooh, one of them got a natural 20. One of them's like, what? And looks like worried for a sec. And the other one's like, oh, pull yourself together. He's just a tiny gnome.
How about a friendly wager, if you will? An arm wrestle.
I'll take you up on that, says Lears, the one on the right. He's the slightly bigger one.
And if I win, then you have to tell us a secret. A secret that you wouldn't tell anyone else about your place of work.
Lears looks at you for a moment. Roll me a persuasion check. With disadvantage, please.
The disparity in subtlety levels between you two is
I got a double 16, so that's 28.
28.
38.
Oh!
Fuck. Okay. They were about to get up
And
and
the
leave.
DM says fuck. He knows good.
Jaspin gets up and he's like, fuck this shit. Who are you? Who are you? And Leah's like, hang on a minute. I can fucking take him. I can fucking take you. And if I win, then you fucks tell me who you really are.
Fair enough.
Catches your hand in the middle. Looks sort of at you all. You can see
Ready to lose to a
Yasquin's
gnome,
there,
big
like
man?
hand on hip, and you can see he does have a sword at his hilt. And they're sort of looking around the tavern. Make me a strength check, please.
Indeed, I shall. Ooh, 23.
23. You immediately begin gripping and you push him slightly further back towards the side. You're winning. Roll again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking nerd arm wrestling, and we're all hyped for it.
28.
All in the
28.
click clack.
He pushes it, and you can see like the muscles in his arm are gripping. He pushes you back this way, and then bam! Your hand slams his down into the thing. He rolled an 18 plus 4. He's really strong, but it's not enough. You slam his wrist back down. He's like, oh my god. He looks towards Yaskin as you kind of celebrate.
I pick up my pint and down like a bunch of it, and then I cheers his glass and sort of laugh heartily.
At this point, Yasquin runs for the door. He just turns, seeing him lose. He turns and bolts for the door. He just is through the crowd. He's literally leaving. He's going through the crowd. Gannon slips out of the booth and is like, fuck, and runs through the crowd after him.
Where's your friend going?
Lears just kind of sits there, rubbing his arm, looking at you both. You know,
Is he all right?
I don't know who you both are. I ain't telling you shit.
You know who we are. We're having a drink. What's this? What are you doing?
You want to know
You're being
secrets
weird.
about my workplace?
Listen, when we go from town to town, we don't just do the weird fucking song thing in the tavern. We try and learn a special bit of trivia.
He begins scooching out of the booth. I know your faces.
Jafari, what have you
two
fucking done?
You two are fucked if we ever see you again. He begins
Stab her in
kind of
the neck.
scooching his way out.
Right, we're gonna follow him then.
He stands turning, and he begins making his way through the crowd.
Well, nothing left to do but follow him.
Walking like quickly, side by side with Richter, and I lean into Richter's ear. Are we gonna have to do what I think we're gonna have to do now?
Probably. If we hadn't been asking weird fucking things about secrets, we wouldn't have to. But now that is what we're gonna have to do.
Richter, these places, they're not the place for me.
I was reading a symphony, yeah? I was constructing an elaborate house of cards of deception that we could use to unlock the secrets of their mind.
He's probably left the tavern by now. I'm just saying, he's gone.
We're talking as we follow.
Oh, you both.
Yeah.
Does he see you following him? Or are you waiting enough time for him not to see you follow?
Yeah, give him a few feet.
A few feet. Okay, as you begin
give him
leaving,
20 feet.
Okay, he makes his way through the crowd, and then you immediately begin getting up. As you both are chatting, getting up and leaving, Ruthus and Richter, you just kind of turn around quick to look back at the booth, and there are two people sitting in the booth that you were just in.
Oh, fuck.
You see them both sitting there, and they're both looking right at you both, and they're both just shaking their heads. And they both have the same faces, and one is wearing plate with a square beard, and the other looks old and haggard, and they're sharing a pint. And then they just sort of fade away. You recognise them as the King and the Rook. You begin squeezing your way
God.
through the crowd, as Gannon has disappeared already. You burst out into the street. There's people kind of drinking out on the street, but it's kind of calmer now. The band is left at this point, always packing up. Make me both perception checks.
A 4.
A 4.
8.
An 8. You both look both ways down the street. No sign.
All right, hold on.
Damn
I'm going
it,
to close my
Richter.
eyes for a sec. I'm going to close my
Why
eyes
did
for
they
a
have
sec.
to-
I'm going to, as Rufus starts to talk, I just put a hand into his face and say, shut up. I'm going to close my eyes for a second and begin sending. Gannon. Richter here. Where are you? Which direction? The other one is following. Are you safe? Just drop it there.
You get a message back. Fuck. Went left. Shit. And it just ends there.
What did he say? One left.
Went left.
We tavern.
He said left. I think left outside of the tavern. We're going to go that way. Keeping our ears open for it sounds like he's getting the shit kicked out of him. So let's keep our ears open for any kind of fracas.
Okay, you begin making your way left at a jog. You're just jogging left down the street. That's sort of the way back towards the center of the city. Both make me perception checks as you're making your way down that way.
3.
19.
A 19. It's only about like sort of 100 feet, 150 feet, and eventually you hear a kind of grunting noise, and then like a boof, 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 and a kind of cracking noise of wood. You turn and you can see a figure standing in the alleyway, lit by like an oil lamp that's further on down. There's crates and things kind of piled up and stock between these two sort of warehouses. The figure standing in the middle is like breathing heavy. You can't tell if they're facing away from you or not. They're just a silhouette.
I'm going to say... Shit, what name did I give? What fucking name did I give him? Shit. Oh, fuck it. Gannon? Just gonna say it.
The silhouette kind of flips and moves around, and you can see just the reflection in the eyes, like a reflection of the light, just kind of glimmering in the two eyes. And then the shoulders drop. Yeah, I'm down here.
Are you okay, friend?
You're right.
You begin kind of jogging up, and it's very dark in this area that Gannon sort of pulls his hood back. You can see he's breathing heavy, and there's blood on his face.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna... You okay?
Yeah.
Where did I get you?
And he kind of points over, and there's 2 dead bodies in the alley next to him.
Nice.
He's smiling, and he has a bloody dirk, like a knife in his hand that's like dripping. His whole hand is like covered in sticky blood, and he's just sort of smiling a bit. Fuck, that felt good.
Rufus comes and puts a hand on his shoulder, looking down at the scene that he's created, and he hands him a potion. I've got a greater healing potion.
I'm all right.
Take this.
I'm fine.
You sure?
It's not my blood.
Okay.
He wipes his
can
wipes
I,
the knife off and puts it back in. Fucking amateurs.
I'm gonna just
and he
quickly
spits
press
on their
him to
body.
clean all that blood.
Fuck, I feel so fucking alive right now. You have no idea. Well, I've been locked up in those fucking rat ways for so long. Yeah.
Well, let's just deal with this. I'm just going to press all the blood off of him real quick.
They're just spewing blood. You inspect the body.
No, off of him. I want their blood off of Ganon.
Right. Yeah. In the dim light that's here, you can see the pools around them just expanding.
Well, he went to town.
How lit is this alley?
It's not very well lit, but it's lit at the end and both ends, so you could see like a silhouette of someone very easily if you were standing in the alley. I'm
going to do something very dishonorable. I'm just going to start dragging the bodies slightly into like the darker edges of the alleyway, just so no one looking down it is just going to see.
Yeah. Rufus will help out while muttering, "This is not the way I imagined this to go. I'm so sorry, King."
Ganon's just like pacing up and down, like moving his arms about, like fuck.
Rufus says to Richter, "What can we gain from this?
We have to search
anything.
Them. We have to search them. They might have useful trinkets. They might have tokens. They might have information on them.
We could take the
while
uniforms."
Ganon, you seem pretty excited over there. Do you think you could keep a lookout just to make sure no one's coming?
Yeah, sure can. Fucking hell. I think we should go do some more, lads. I've got the itch now. Like we've just maybe just one more.
No,
we just drag him into the fucking.
This is more than enough for one night.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out. And he moves to the edge of the alley.
I like feisty Ganon. All right. So I search the bodies, go through like packs, pouches, see if there's anything like any keys, any notes, anything.
Make me an investigation check then.
I can help out, right?
If you got it as a tag skill, yeah.
Are you proficient?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
You can both make a roll for each one if you want.
19.
A 19. Rufus, are you having a look as well?
Yeah. I got an unnatural 20.
Oh. You give both bodies a real thorough look through. It does, coat you in blood up to your elbows. Nothing that Presty won't take care of afterwards, but it really gets in. You find a couple of coin purses on them with 12 gold pieces collectively between.
We're gonna have to, listen, Rufus, I don't like this, but we're gonna have to take the gold. This way it just looks like a robbery. If we leave the gold, it's a lot more suspicious.
We put them in the bag.
You want to put them in the bag of holding?
Why not?
Because at that point, Mayor, we're transporting corpses. What do you intend to do with them?
Put them in the bin.
Dispose of them later.
Do you think that the dock rats will be happy that we've brought 2 mercenaries' corpses into their lair?
No, but do you think it would be better for someone, the local guard, the mercers, to find 2 of their men murdered in an alley?
Yes, they were murdered outside a bar. It happens. But then again, they've seen your face. Oh, shit. All right, fine. And I thrust the bag of withholding into Rufus's hands. All right, you handle it.
Okay, I stretch open the pursed lips.
Over the next 5-10 minutes,
Jesus.
both of you cram these 2 large bodies into the bag of withholding.
We're supposed to be the Knights of Decorum.
The bag hungrily accepts.
The tables have turned.
It hungrily accepts these bodies. And as you've been rummaging through, I didn't tell you the rest. It was 2 coin purses. One was what looked like a little piece of paper, like a little piece of parchment with what looked to be like a very rudimentary drawing of like a sunflower or something in You
Great,
also,
we killed an artist.
Tashi,
Right.
fuck you. I know exactly what that is.
You find some linen wraps. You find what else do you find? There's bloody rags. There's an empty bottle that's stashed in like the inside of his coat. You give it a little bit of a smell, and it has a really pungent odor, unlike alcohol. There's a small satchel which looks to be one of their lunches. Not satchel, like a brown paper sort of parcel. It's like half eaten, but there look to be some lavender dumplings and perhaps a sweet roll or something in there. Yeah, oh damn, I should have got you guys to drink Alto wine in the pub. But other than that, nothing of interest. But what you do notice from the inspection is that they have been stabbed repeatedly, like maybe 20-25 times each, like over and over again, well beyond the case of they would be dead and they would just kept being stabbed.
Well, look, he's a hammer and he found some nails. So, I mean, we're going to leave this out of the story.
We're going to have to
He's
start
been
taking
cooped up a long time, hasn't he?
Sorry.
Eventually, the bodies, they go in, and you hear a little sort of whistle from Gannon. Coast is clear. You done?
I pressed the two of us, and yes, I think we're done.
Okay, so what is the plan for
looks
you three?
down and
Yes,
looks down
also
and, like...
Presty the crime scene as well.
Okay.
I'm so glad that there's a spell that just gets rid of all forensics. That's really useful.
that will take a little bit more time, I would say. You begin Prestying away. It's kind of, it cleans it, but this is like a pool of pints of blood. So, but I'll say with sort of the help of Ruthus, you kind of push out the blood as much, or soak it up in some rags as much as you can.
Soak the rags, Presty the rags. Soak the rags, Presty the rags.
It takes some time, and I'll say it takes maybe 20-25 minutes. There's occasionally times where Gannon lets a little kind of noise out, and you push yourselves up against into the darkness as some drunk people walk past. But eventually it gets into the late hours of the morning. At this point it's maybe 1 a.m, and you are done. It is clean, the bodies are gone, and Gannon is also, I imagine you Presty Gannon.
Yes.
He reluctantly lets you do it, and at this point he seems like the bloodlust has faded somewhat, and he seems a little bit more sort of out of it or exhausted. Where are you
Adrenaline's thinning out a bit.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Rufus looks up at the sky with his eyes closed and is just sort of shaking his head, and is basically looking very, very ashamed with himself. Richter, this is terrible. How could we let this happen?
Listen, this is not exactly how we wanted things to transpire, and I don't think either of us wanted to have these men dead. However,
look,
this is not my place.
It's
I
not
should
your
never
place.
have been here.
But you can thank me later, all right? Because I just saved your fucking asses. Do you know what was going to happen when they ran off? They'd seen all our fucking faces, and they were going to run right to them mercers. And they were going to tell them exactly who we are, and they were going to stop you from doing whatever it is that you're doing.
You know what?
Sometimes,
if this is for Celeste, then this is what has to be done.
they're not the first mercenaries that have died because of us, Rufus.
No. No, I know.
So, are you guys going to make your way back to the dock rats?
Probably.
Yeah.
Making your way back in the early hours of the morning, I'll say you both eventually. Zook, I imagine you. How are you going to meet up with them? You're just going to go back.
So what I was going to do before heading back is fly down to the harbour side near the bakery and basically turn back into Zook and then float out to sea and just try and coast my way out, maybe like half a mile. So I'm like I'm hovering over the sea a good sort of half a mile out, trying to get as much like of the ocean underneath me as I can. Taking out a little bit of incense. I light it and I take out a small wooden carving of a dove that I've made earlier. And I start tracing the incense around my head. And I trace it around in a circle above the ocean floor. And white flames start to flick up from the surface of the sea. And as a sort of ring of fire appears, I'm going to drop the carving of a dove into it as it goes, and kind of white flames kind of flick over me for a second. And I want to cast divination with the connection to nature that I've found in the ocean itself. I'd like to sort of feel into the powers of the earth and of the sea, and ask the great wet one, as it were, what we are about to do. Is it going to go well? Or are there those that wish to do us harm and know of our plan? Are we going to be accosted by ill will within the estate of the Midnight Mercers? I'll ask it that. So yeah, your magic.
I'm just reading it, so I definitely know.
Yeah.
What I'm...
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the exact question again. You don't have to roleplay it this time.
So the question is, are there those that know of our plan to steal the cubic gate, and are they going to ambush us when we go to the estate, basically?
You can only ask one question.
Okay, then the first one. Are there those within the estate who know of our plan?
The sea floating atop it. The sea ebbs around you. And the waves continue to kind of pass beneath you towards the shore. And then they begin to sort of converge. And you can see the waves turning and flowing towards you. And they kind of lap up and down in the centre, kind of beneath you. Like you're the source of where the waves are sort of crashing and emanating. But all seems calm. And all seems normal.
Nice. Cool. Oh no, so if you cast it twice, never mind. Okay, cool. I head back to the underground, the sewers.
Okay. And Dylan and Dutch?
Yeah, I guess we just head back to the hideout.
Okay. So eventually you all converge back at the dock routes in the early hours of the morning. And I'll say that Zook probably gets there first, followed by Dylan and Dutch. Then eventually Ruthus, Richter and Gannon, you enter down in the dock rats runways. And you're all back together. You're all pretty tired by this point, looking forward to some rest. And you know that tomorrow is the last day, and that the next morning is when you have to give your amulets back. And that day that you give your amulets back is the day of the deadline that Eldama gave you on that note. You're all back together. No one's awake at this point. Gannon lights a couple candles, sits himself down, gets his pipe out, and he just begins smoking, looking pleased with himself.
So, by the look on Gannon's face, it looks like it went well.
Gannon had a good time.
Gannon enjoyed himself.
Good for you.
I mean, you weren't there for Gannon to have a good time. I hope that it was lucrative. Our investigation certainly was as well.
Well, what we can tell you is that they will be the guards will be understaffed, shall we say. There will be 2 guards not present because they're dead.
Oh.
There's no need to delve into it any further. Rufus says, looking very stern and just sort of annoyed and disappointed. We learned nothing. What did you learn?
Well, we managed to get into the estate. I guess we'll relay the information. Aidan, do you know what we got? What we
There's
did?
There's a big written bit in the chat, which I think explains a lot of the ins and outs of what you found.
I think that's the most part. Cool. So I guess we'll relay that information.
This man you saw coming out of a door in the wall?
Lord
Balthazar.
Well, we assume.
And he's the owner of the Cubic Gate?
So Kashmiri the Collector told Richter. I have a plan. The fact that the mess that you managed to land yourself in tonight, it shouldn't affect it too much. Hopefully, not too many of the wrong questions are asked because of it. Hopefully, it's just 2 guards who got simply too drunk.
Indeed, and the longer we wait, the more suspicious it will be when they don't turn up.
Richter, would you potentially see Kashmiri again? There's something we could ask of him that might be of great help.
I could see Kashmiri again, but if we go to see him, he will be expecting a purchase. Now, it won't go that way, of course. We cannot afford to give these away, so it will likely result in some unpleasantness at the end. However, I could potentially, I don't know if he'd be forthcoming, but I could potentially send a message to him.
It appears Lord Balthazar is holding some kind of party, I presume, tomorrow evening. Sorry, guys, I have to... Just go ahead without me.
No worries.
Tomorrow evening, he says. He means this night coming. Because it's now the early morning, isn't it?
Yeah, very early.
Wait.
Then this could be the perfect time to enter. There'll be a lot going on, a lot of distractions. We can pose as guests, if anything. No, tonight.
This evening. Well, it has to be this evening. Tomorrow we're out of time.
Indeed.
I mean,
So wait, sorry, it's the earliest hours of the morning. If we go to sleep and we wake up tomorrow morning, will we then have to give the amulets back?
No, it's the day after.
We've got one more full day and a night.
And then it is the day after, yes.
Yeah, sorry guys. Would it be possible if we could potentially get an invitation to Lord Balthazar's soiree? It might be a way we could potentially get whatever it is that he is coveting so greatly.
My concern is that whatever is kept around his neck is precious to him. And if he's downstairs at a party and we're upstairs, would it not be better to try and get that at night whilst he sleeps, rather than in front of a load of people? Not that I don't think you'd be capable of it, Dylan, but you might do it with more ease.
I'm just thinking of when we would have the time to do so.
I mean, surely it'd be easier to go through that door in the wall when he's busy downstairs entertaining.
Absolutely.
Whatever he has around his neck, we will need.
It could be a key.
What? He just pulled a fucking red book.
He did, but there may be something within that chamber that needs a key. If
Just
it is a key. What, with hundreds of people standing around him? What do we do? Go up to him and pull it off his neck?
No, just nick the fucking thing, then we'll just smash it open back here.
We don't know what
be.
I understand the sentiment, but we don't know the purpose of whatever it is that he has. It might be arcane of nature. I feel like it's important, and I think it would be an oversight for us not to try and steal it somehow before we enter that room.
Indeed, it sounds necessary, whatever it is. I agree.
What about, while the party is in full swing, we break into his rooms, we scout out whatever's beyond the bookcase, and then if we need something in addition, we wait for him in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hide. Wait for him to go to sleep, then take it.
We don't know how powerful he is, perhaps magically or as a fighter. Ambushing him, the scale of difficulty, it may vary greatly.
Oh, I'm not saying we have to fight him. We just wait for him to go to sleep, and then you pinch it from out from his chest.
Could we?
The worst, we smother him with his own pillow.
And what if he doesn't go to bed until very late that evening, and we have but a few hours to steal the cubic gate, get our way back to the Ratways?
Does anyone here have the ability to perhaps produce a potion of sleep, some kind of tranquilizer that we could slip him?
I don't know if I have anything of the sort.
Perhaps dog rats.
Zook's plan is the best. We haven't heard anything else. Makes sense. He's got to go to bed, and then a few hours to open a box and come home. Maybe.
You know it might not be that straightforward. I know in your mind right now it is, but you don't know what lies behind that bookcase. Could be anything.
It sounds
but then
like
what's
a good
the other
plan.
option then? We don't fucking go.
No, of course not. I suggest that we attend the party in some form or another and make a play for this item which resides around his neck or within his pocket.
Then why don't some people do that and some people go straight into his bedroom and have a fucking look?
There are
both.
two
We
guards
could do
who won't
both.
be present at the party. I could adopt the guise of one of them to be present at the estate.
You know what? This could all work. If we can get hold of some kind of poison or even a very, very, very strong liquor, those of the party could slip it into his drink, make him very drunk, make him go to bed earlier than he should do, and then we'll give ourselves more time for our original plan of waiting till he's asleep.
I don't mean to doubt your abilities, but that will take some, excuse my phrasing here, sleight of hand to pull something off like that. I don't know who else among you has that capability, and I cannot be in two places at once.
No, that's true. But if we can get to the window and get inside the room, then once we're in the room, you could slip out and join the party in disguise, possibly.
At the very least, we need to isolate this Balthazar. If we can draw him away from the party, away from the guests, perhaps cause some kind of distraction, some kind of issue that requires his attention. Then it will be much easier to do the things that you say you want to do, rather than doing it in the open in a ballroom.
What about a mate? What if he would like to mate that evening? You know, if he has the urge.
Listen, I can disguise myself, but I have my limits.
Yeah, but all we need to do is knock him in the bedroom, and then you get on your knees, he gets his todger out, we club him from behind with a chair, and then kill him, or not.
It's true. Even
whatever.
the greatest and most powerful of men, they always think with their dicks in the end.
Well,
Yeah, you will be literally catching him with his trousers down. He can't
Well-
run and trip over the dickhead.
well, as a paladin of redemption, perhaps the only way for me to redeem myself, the blood on my hands tonight,
It's like getting jizz
Get
in your mouth.
to get on my knees and redeem myself. You'd better be there. You would better be there.
I'll be there.
That's the plan.
Fucking be there.
Laughing.
But how do we just
don't like his
approach?
tone.
How do we just approach complete strangers and say,
I don't-
"Hey, Balthazar,
Well, first he
there's a
walks-
present
I
for
don't
you."
think-
Walks in there
that-
first, dressed as the guard, who Ganon helpfully stabbed. Thank you, Ganon. Then he goes in, uses a toilet, comes out dressed as like a half-elf fucking hooker with a fat fucking badonkadonk. Then he fucking seduces him upstairs, trousers down, bash on the head, necklace off, into the bookcase, home for brekkie.
You have to give it to Dutch. He does present a succinct plan.
You all saw Balthazar, did you not?
Yep.
Aye.
Obviously, this is not something one can draw from a first glance, but
Minor illusion.
Was there
I
anything
show
about-
you Balthazar.
He's
Ah.
you didn't get a good look at him in the kind of dim light of his chamber,
Okay.
or who you assume is Balthazar. But there was a male in the chamber, tall, fairly well built, elven features, darker hair, but they were in their sort of what looked to be sleeping garments, and their long hair was sort of tasseled about their face.
Thinking
Yeah,
back,
present
was
an
there like another person's things in this room, or did it seem to be just Balthazar's stuff?
It seemed to be just one person's stuff,
Okay.
or at least, you know what, relatively empty.
I
And,
don't hate this idea, and Dutch,
Hmm.
you did put it quite well. The one concern I have is that how do I put this tastefully? We don't know his tastes.
If he
I was
gets-
going to say that.
His
but
vices.
if all of you get rejected as a woman, you come back as a male. That doesn't work. You come back as something more androgynous or whatever.
But we have tomorrow to do what little research we might be able to.
That's true. We know he likes
you guys
ships.
met him.
If you
That's
could
true.
pose as a model ship merchant
Perhaps
and try and sell him
perhaps a slave ship scenario, like in
No.
Icebreakers.
No.
Right,
No.
You've said enough,
no.
Josh. You've said enough already tonight.
You've done enough.
You've done the damage.
Yes, I
Isolated
suppose
the
we could,
NPCs, got them killed.
God
Not-
damn it.
We could perhaps ask around the local brothels to see if Balthazar has a taste
I can do that.
that I could cater myself to.
Yes.
I'd just like to put it on record, Richter. We're not expecting you to go through with anything you don't want to. Just
I'm
enough
just
to get him
putting
up
on-
to the room.
I'm just putting it on record that you'd better be there, because I'm not 100% I'm going to be able to overpower this man. So,
Oh
be
no!
there.
The implications. It's his party.
Oh no,
Because of the implication.
because of the
It's my
implication.
party and I'll cry if I want to.
We're going to have to come up with a believable backstory as well. It's going to be.
guy if I want to.
What? For the okay. Here's a backstory. I can't say it. It's really mean.
No, let's not do anything until we know more.
Noted.
And
I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted.
yes, I think it's time for sleep. I'm tapped.
You make your way to your bed chambers, unless anyone wants to do anything else before sleep.
I want to get the shield out of the bag of withholding, please.
with a bonus action, you can summon it to you. Remember?
That's right.
Across
So
planes.
you just concentrate on the Aegis, and it just appears in a kind of burst of
Nice.
slight sunlight to your.
What
to
does
your arm.
what does the bag do when that happens?
Looking at the bag, it is a bag. It still doesn't do anything.
Oh, fair enough.
Doesn't seem to realise.
I would like to spend my last 2 spell slots to cast Gift of Alacrity on myself and one other person, whoever wants it.
I like presents. What does it do?
It's the initiative one. It lasts for 8 hours, so if we get woken up in the night, then
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way to your kind of dank, not particularly nice bed chambers that you've been staying in since being in the city, and you all bed down for a successful long rest. You may heal if you need to. You get half your hit points back, etc., etc. Spell slots. Change any spells that you might need for the day. And you awake in the sort of late morning. You went to bed maybe about 2, so it's about 10 in the morning by this point. And you'll wake up. What are you going to do today, Gypsies of Fortune? Time is upon you.
Who wants to come and chat around some brothels and speak to some ladies of the night? Yep, you come in.
I do.
and men of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a silver tongue, and I shall apply it on these
And
ladies
people
and
of the night.
men as well.
Wipe your nose like a credit card. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we need to? What kind of information are we trying to get today?
We're trying to.
What does he
We're
like
trying
to fuck?
Yeah, we're trying to figure
Anyone?
out.
Maybe just gathering information on the soiree generally, like what kind of
Yeah.
party is it, who's invited, as well.
Where are we going to figure this out? I feel like we literally stabbed our contact to death.
Yeah.
Is there like a more aristocratic venue?
What do you mean?
Dutch.
Trying to think of like where
Us.
guests that will be going to the party will be staying, so that I can try and like overhear what they're talking about.
Dutch, where's the most?
You wouldn't know if there was.
Where is the most hoity-toity kind of uppity tavern in whatever building that you know of?
I know exactly the one. That's where all those fat cunts go who don't actually do anything. Where is it, Tashi?
The hoity-toity taverns are in the Andriant.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck.
It's probably not wise that we go there, right?
Oh, fuck.
No.
Is there any like middle-class taverns?
Yeah, there's hundreds.
When
No,
was
but
Zoop
like
to meet the
Tashi,
wizard? That's what I
Oh
want.
shit!
Are there any pubs in London? That's basically how that question sounds.
No.
Like, are there any posh pubs in London? Yeah, it's like there's fucking loads.
Fucking Bitload.
Can we go to what would be the equivalent of what's that fucking posh place? The Ivy.
The Ivy.
Where there's like those sorts of like upstarts wannabe fucking proper rich new money wankers who
But
will
there's-
literally do anything for some fucking attention.
And there's loads
Popeye's
of them
restaurant.
everywhere.
Wow.
That's-
If you've been to the Ivy, that's absolutely fine. It's your personal preference.
Yeah,
It's
we don't-
perfectly
we
Dutch
don't
fine.
doesn't
judge
make it up
Place
to the Cloud District very often.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dutch does not make it to the district.
Yeah, there's.
Fuck you,
there's,
Nazim.
There's probably
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
there's probably a tavern like that. You can make me a history check with advantage.
Okay. What is history? Is it? Oh, in. Okay. Fair enough. I got an Oh, I didn't mean to roll with advantage. Oh, it was with advantage. So yeah, I got a 5. There we go.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hey.
You're not sure? It's been a long time since you've been back in Xanthar.
I mean, there's loads of places we could have a look. Maybe even has a favourite brothel that he gets girls brought in from, or people brought in from to entertain themselves and their guests.
So we're going to enter into a skill challenge for today. I want you to tell me the information that you want to know, and then we're going to do a skill challenge based on that. So you could split off in groups and do separate skill challenges for separate information. So at the moment we have Dutch and Richter heading off to figure out Lord Balthazar's tastes.
Is there like a library or something somewhere?
You're going to find that in a library.
No.
There's the Imperial Library, which is in the Andriont.
Yeah.
But there are like book merchants about the city.
I'm thinking like, because obviously like you know, in a modern library you would have you have like sort of newspapers like modern newspapers and old, you know, they have records of all things like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So like I imagine there's a sort of fantasy equivalent sort of thing going on in a.
It's called a cartographer.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No.
It doesn't matter what it's called. It doesn't matter what it's called.
A news
archive.
archive.
Know what we're talking about. Yeah, like an archive of sort of local politics, of like, you know, current politics.
I have two friends that do it for their city in Holland.
Like essentially the council archives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a history check.
Sure. Oh, natural 19. Plus my intelligence. Gotta think. A 22.
Oh, baby.
As far as you're aware, the main archives with all of that information would be in the Andriont, in the Imperial Library. However, each district has essentially like a council building, a main sort of imperial building, where you would imagine archives, ledgers, information would be stored. And you know for a fact that every district has one of those because it's sort of imperial law to have them. And it would be the archives of that particular district.
Okay. Would I be able to figure out like the name of like a sort of a municipal sort of?
What's the information you're trying to find overall?
Oh, I suppose actually it would just be like, surely there's like people write like gossip, sort of kind of things with regards to like people. That's the sort of thing I want to find out. Like, is there like a gossip about like well-known people in Xanthar, and like would that be stored somewhere? Like surely that sort of stuff is written and it is stored places.
Yeah, big cities always have tattle columns.
So you're looking for newspaper, like tabloid article stuff.
Yeah, they're just like
up and coming.
About Lord Balthazar.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Lord Balthazar
that's going to be your
Andriont
skill challenge in that case.
Does someone want to accompany me with that? Maybe Rufus would be good at that because he's like a good investigator sort of person. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm good at reading.
Zook, what are you going to do?
I think I'm going to do two things. One is do pretty much what I did the night before and head out to sea. Maybe find a slightly less busy area of the docks where I can just float out to sea without being, looked on by too many people. I mean, some people are going to see me, that's fine. And then basically cast divination again with the same ritual. But I'm going to ask, is Celeste alive and well as a ritual? Taking 10 minutes.
The water begins to flow about you, once more lapping up, just a caress at the bottom of your toes. And you sense again that all is well.
I'm then going to cast it again. This time, I'm going to say, does Eldama intend to return her safely if we give them the cubic gate?
Okay, just to warn you, casting it a second time before a long rest, it has a 25% to give you a random answer. Oh, my door is going.
As in the wrong.
As
Okay.
in, yeah, it could potentially give you a wrong answer.
Okay. Hope that doesn't happen.
Well, you know if it's wrong.
I don't know if that's what it means. It says there's a cumulative 25% chance for each casting after the first time you get a random reading. Does that mean that it's a random answer, or that the more I cast it, the more like? Okay.
So I'm going to roll, and I'm going to see whether it's random, but you're not going to know if it's random.
Yeah.
Okay. The water. So this was whether Eldama is going to
Give Celeste back to us safely if we give them the cubic gate.
The water churns under you, begins to froth and sort of boil and move in all different directions, like it doesn't know where to go.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Unclear.
It's unclear. It doesn't understand.
Right. Sure. Sorry, and then the second thing, I'm going to try and get in contact with Fandel and ask him to bring whatever tools he deems useful for breaking and entering, arcane means or otherwise, and also to bring
How are you getting in contact with him?
That's a good point. I think I probably would have had to ask Richter to cast message, sending.
Well,
Okay.
he said he was gonna cast sending to you the following day.
Okay.
Which would be
did
today,
we agree?
But you didn't. I don't know if you agreed
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
It was like the morning, I think, wasn't it?
It was at some point. I think it was some point in the morning or midday.
Yeah. Rather than risk waiting for that, I think I probably would have just asked Richter in the morning to basically cast send him a
Can
message.
I just say, these are our spell slots for the night. So
I'm just going to point out, Richter, how many spell slots do you get as a warlock?
I'm now up to, because it changed recently. I'm not many. I believe I'm up to 3 now.
Okay.
3 entire spells. That's what Richter can cast.
Per day.
And that
So
would use
with
up a third of his
with a
entire
warlock,
capability.
do you get them back after a short rest?
Yes.
I think you
that
do.
is the benefit.
Is it
Oh my
possible
God.
to do it early in the morning, have breakfast, have a short rest, he gets the spell slot back? Cool.
Yeah,
So I'm
That
gonna
is
we could do
true.
that.
That is
So if we
true.
could do that, I'm messaging Fandel, asking him to bring 2 small gnome-sized sets of mages' outfits back to when he comes to meet us, if he can. Sort of typical of the University of Mages. And I'm going to say to meet us, I say get in contact every 4 hours, every 3 hours, and I will update him throughout the day on what our plan is, because we don't actually know yet.
Okay.
Easily done.
To
I'll say-
expedite, should we just say I do that?
and you get a very excited message back from Fandel saying he will move post haste. He's going to cancel all his lessons for the day so that he can free his timetable up. He's sending his students on various other duties, and he will every 3 hours. So from now, which would be 11. Well, no, you would have done it at 10, and then you had a short rest. So from 10, so he'll do it at 1, and then at 4, and then at 7, etc.
Yeah. Nice.
All done.
Is this
Back in just a sec. Sorry.
we got in touch with?
No worries.
Oh, you
Yeah.
missed
Yes.
the whole section of you and Zook getting him to come to meet you at the place.
Oh,
You
sick.
missed that. Yeah, and
He's getting involved, is he?
he was like, I'll let Rupert really quickly fill you in.
So he was like super hyped about coming on the heist with us, and it suddenly occurred to us that actually having quite a capable wizard and also a master of antiques would probably be quite useful. So
Nice.
we
You
said
didn't give him all the information. They were very coy with him, and he was like, I understand, and I'll, yes. Like, but I have these skills, and he was like, they don't let me out of the university at all. I want to go and help. This is like espionage, and he was loving it. He was loving it.
He was super hyped.
Nice.
Rupert
So,
did a lot of insight checks that were very high, and you deduced that he was indeed genuine and just was really excited to be part of it. Okay, with that done, then you begin to float out to sea, and Ruthus and Dylan, your first part of the skill challenge will need to be locating a vendor of newspapers, or perhaps a place that prints newspapers, a printing press, or a news outlet of some kind.
There's got to be something, right? Just because it's a fantasy world.
Big city.
Big old
No
city.
tabloids.
So,
Let's gossip.
So who is gonna helm the first of the skill challenges, and what would you like to use?
Could I? Okay, we walk out. Can I try and find the most well-to-do, respectable, a similar, noble perhaps, man of aristocracy or woman, and use persuasion to tell me where I can find such news and delights of the ongoings of the socialites in town.
Okay, make me a persuasion check.
31.
Oh.
Oh, what?
How does the emissary thing work? Is that what the massive plus is?
Oh, I can't remember. I think so.
With
I think it's
is this the persuasion emissary thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that. I believe what my one does is it gives you an extra +5 to persuade for 10 minutes, and that's on top of what you've already got for persuade. So when I activate,
that might be your emissary of
+14
ability.
Oh, it's different.
Ruth
Okay.
is a feat. Check.
I mean, it was a long time. I can't remember. There was definitely some stacking going on, and I think there's like a doubling of your proficiency in a certain skill.
Yeah. Do you not remember what emissary?
That's what it normally is.
I remember emissary is the name of the first episode of Deep Space Nine.
It's the diplomat.
Oh, it's the
Feat.
diplomat feat.
You gain proficiency if you're already proficient. You add double your proficiency
That's
bonus. Stuff like that.
To persuasion.
Does.
Okay. Yes, you. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and you can charm people, can't you? You can do your charm. Yes, with that is a success. It takes a bit, doesn't? It's not the first person you ask, but with your persuasive skills and Dylan following in your stead, you eventually are pointed in the right direction. They ask you a few questions about that. They say there are many vendors and places that deal in sort of gossip and newspapers and the kind of information about the city. Is there a certain specific thing that you are looking for? They ask.
We are looking for. Well, we've heard that there is a party this evening, hosted by someone extremely interested in antiquities, and that there'll be a lot of important people there, and that we would like to become more acquainted with these people.
Maybe on a more vague level, like we just want to general gossip, and also who's who, who's top dog, who's important in the socialite scene of Xanthar.
Okay. The persuasion roll's good, but the avenue of thought essentially leads you down. It's too vague, and there are too many publishers and places of interest. The city is so fucking big, and the people on top and the people it talks about, you end up going to two different places that are in the docks, that just talk about stuff that's to do with the docks and stuff that's to do with the aristocracy.
We should have watched an episode
stuff.
of. Yeah, we should have just watched an episode of Made in Xanthar. Now we're here watching The Only Way is Ilmiri.
So I'm actually going to treat that as a failure, as your first one.
Nice.
Do you need to go to the merchant districts? Get it maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, are we going to go? I always thought we would go to the merchant districts. I don't think we'd hang around in the fucking docks.
No.
It's what you did, unfortunately. Josh said
Do you know any sophisticated
he asked people in the docks.
Yeah.
And you didn't specify at all anything to do with the working guild, so that's what I went on. We've still got 2 more chances.
All right. I'd like to go to the working guild, and I'd like to use investigation to find a vendor of a similar ilk, but like to do specifically with the merchants guild, like gossip surrounding that and that sort of thing.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Oh, it's bad. 14.
A 14.
No, better than that.
Oh, that
16.
bad.
16.
Hey,
a 16
look at
makes the difference. You ask about, and at first people just aren't really interested in listening to a strange-looking blind man. But eventually, you find someone who understands that even though you're blind, you still want to read the newspaper, and they get it. They get it. They think, let them just get on with it. They've got this nice gnome with them, and they eventually direct you towards a purveyor of newspapers. There are a lot of printing presses within the working guilds.
And Braille gossip.
One of which, the Paper and Pulp prints a paper called the Paper and Pulp, which is essentially the kind of stuff you're looking for. It's got kind of working man stories in the back. It's got some kind of like nude pictures on the third page. It's got trash columns. It's got all sorts, and it's all about things in the working guilds. And indeed, within there is an article that talks of a party at Lord Balthazar's estate. The tabloid paper itself, this one, speaks of it with ill repute rather than glorifying it. It actually talks of the people that are going, not specifics by name, but the fact that it's held in Lord Balthazar's honor because it's Lord Balthazar's birthday, and it's just some celebration, and all the people that are going, and it kind of disses it a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Are we in the printing press right now?
No, you're like outside the building, and there's people like stacking these papers up and things, and you're essentially reading one of them out the front. Yeah, actually, mark off 2 copper. That's all it cost you.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that in a second.
There's like there's a boy running around with a stack of them, like fresh off the press, and you see him kind of running down the street.
Can we go inside?
You got a little
Is
cap
there like
on.
an inside area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's an indoor section.
I'd like to take Eurythus with me. I'd like to duck into a side alley and use disguise self to disguise myself as like a really snooty looking elf with sort of garish, like sort of crushed velvet purple jacket with like white lace spilling out of the sleeve, and he's got sort of
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
He's got coiffed, swept back black hair.
The trousers and a waistcoat.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to sort of go inside to this place with like Rufus following along as well. I'll be like, Rufus, follow me lead.
Very well. I can't lie, but I'll do my best.
Just pretend to be like my bodyguard or something. I don't know. I'll explain to him.
I won't say a word.
My gnome bodyguard.
I'd like to use deception to describe that I'm an investigative journalist working for one of Lord Balthazar's opponents, and I'm looking for some like juicy dirt to like try and get to sort of try and stir up some sort of like negative press about him for one of his opponents who's sort of like opposing him in the Merchants Guild.
Okay, roll me a deception check. I'm going to give you advantage on this because you cast the spell and you kind of made an effort with the pot.
Oh, natural 17.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
It is still minus though, isn't it?
No, it's plus.
Oh,
my
because your
deception. Yeah. So 19 total.
19 total.
Yeah.
Are you? So you're working for one of his opponents. The vendor who's behind there. Someone goes and gets the boss, and the boss comes.
That's my
over.
story, but I'm a bit like kind of. I don't give everything away, but I sort of like try to sort of. You know, like kind of Dylan, although he's very kind of shy, but when he's acting and lying specifically, you can kind of get away with it when he puts on like a different person's face.
He's got the whole facade going on. He's a method actor. He believes his character. He's confident.
The boss comes over. He's got a cigar in his mouth, and he's a bit cautious at first. An investigative journalist. He works with a lot of them, and essentially he says, We've got some juicy stuff, but we don't feel like we can post it because we get in really big trouble. But if I tell you this juicy piece of gossip, then you have to do a favor for me, which would be if you then find out anything, you're working for some opposition of Balthazar, you come to me and I'll be your guy, and we'll, he basically wants information out of you in the future because he believes you to be this snooty investigative journalist.
I turn to Rufus at this point, and I'm like, and I just, I don't know, I don't even call him a name. He's sort of like my guard at this point, and I'm just like, quickly write up a quick contract. This and like sort of expressing that this is a great idea.
Rufus nods and he says to the guy, "Do you have parchment and quill?"
He slides it across, and together
make it so.
A small contract is broached.
Rufus uses his calligraphy proficiency to like make it look swish and professional as fuck.
I'm not gonna get you to roll in that case. It's just a free extra success on this part to play it. And the contract is signed, I imagine, with a fake name. And he says, "Hold on a moment here." And he goes off to the back for a sec. Some time passes and he comes out to the front. He kind of looks about a bit and he passes you a small envelope. And he says, "You come back when you've got some dirt that I can print."
And I sort of like with a flourishing bow, and so I'm like, "Darling, you have no doubt I'll be back." So I'm like, give him a cheeky wink. He's very camp. He's quite a camp kind of.
Amazing.
He's been flirting a little bit.
I've never seen Dylan perform like this ever. Walking away and opening the envelope, it's a short letter written by clearly this guy but with no signed name, and it talks of Lord Balthazar and his obsession with pain. There's an obsession rumored that he has an obsession with
flagellant,
with hurting others and hurting himself. Mainly hurting himself to an extent, but hurting animals. And he's collected many different kind of beasts and strange creatures.
Oh, Jesus,
and there is rumors that he keeps them within the estate, and is cruel to them in different ways, and gets pleasure from it. And he's like, we can't print this because we get in loads of trouble, and he knows that you won't. But then he's like, yeah, you're going to get some dirt that I can print. Yeah, he's a bit of a sadist.
You're going to take down Epstein together.
He is a sadist.
Get ready to go as a furry, Aiden.
How are we going to kill him?
He does say alleged.
We can definitely believe this. It's definitely true.
Well done. That is a successful skill challenge. Well done.
We've got our mandate to butcher him.
Richter and Dutch, you are headed to the brothels. Where are you going, and how are you going to find the brothels?
I'd like to go to. Would I? Not that I'm saying Dutch frequented them, but
you're a carouser, though.
Yeah, he carouses, and let's be honest, he was an orphan teenager with no parents and grew up in a city with brothels. He probably bought some companionship.
Maybe.
Don't judge him for it. So, yeah, I imagine Dutch knows where there are a couple. Maybe head to something that's more VIP and exclusive.
Very exclusive.
Somewhere that it's more discreet. It's not just, you don't just wander in. You can book someone to come to you.
So
they can.
I will say to remind yourself as to where these specific ones are, you will need to make me some kind of check, which is up to you.
Okay. Gannon.
Gannon's asleep.
Gannon.
Did you knock on his door?
Yeah.
You open the door. He's like all in the covers. What the fuck? It's early.
2 gold if you can stand up and answer some questions.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. He gets up. Hat puts his hand out.
Yep, slap it in his
hand.
hand.
Give him the 2 gold.
Mark off 2 gold. Whoever is giving it. Who's giving it?
I'll do it.
Okay,
I think
Dutch
did it. Yeah.
Yeah. He throws it back down onto his bed behind him. He's not wearing any clothes at all.
You're awake. I'm awake.
He's got a bit of a belly that kind of covers partially his bits.
He's got a big belly then.
It kind of, it's a little bit. It's a little bit of a dad.
A bit beery.
You can still see it poking out from underneath, but it's there. It's poking out from a big bush of thick hair.
Half dwarven
hair. Questions? You got 2.
Where are the most exclusive and posh brothels? Tell me them.
Roll him an intimidation check.
Well, no, I paid him, man.
You still need to do a check as part of the skill challenge. It's a skill challenge.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Can I use strength?
You can strength.
I pick up a chair and throw it against the wall.
It's still intimidation is the skill.
Yes, you said I could use my strength for intimidation, so we.
Oh, as in yes, yeah, as a replace, yeah. But you're still using intimidation. Yeah, correct. You can.
Amazing. 27.
He sort of looks at you. Oh, fucking hell. All right. There's a place that I know of. Madame Crimson. That's the place. I ain't never been in because they obviously ain't let me in, but I know there's some wealthy folks who go there. It's in the merchant ward.
Right, and second question.
Oh, but watch out. I think crows are always about that place.
So we'll have to be discreet.
Well, I just won't like you going in there asking questions and that, but if you, I don't know if they own it. They're always about, aren't they?
Second question, have you ever tried platting that fucking monstrosity down there? Because I was with a dwarf once, and I lasted for ages and don't let anyone ever tell you any different. and hers was plaited.
Nah, don't bother.
Richter's shaking his head when
Only-
Dutch says he lasted for ages.
Only thing of mine that goes in people is this, and he pulls the dagger out from somewhere. You've no idea.
Oh, for fuck! All right, let's go.
Wow.
He closed the door. There's blood on him, but it's obviously from you pressed the top of his clothes, but it's soaked through and it's still on him.
Yeah.
He
likes it. Okay.
I love how you guys are like, Gannon and numbers, and then you're like, shit, they are fucking murderous criminals suddenly.
Yeah.
But
It's sinking
what?
in.
No, but you know what? If I'd been there, I wouldn't have been able to probably use a deception to get them to stop or whatever. So I probably would have had to pop their heads or something.
You know what? If you'd stayed in Xanthar, probably would have been the same.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a fact. Like, Dutch has had the meditative meeting orc folk and like being peace for time. If you'd stayed in Xanthar, you would have just been a full criminal.
Fucking mentalist. Yeah.
Okay. First successful thing, you have located where this place is, and you make your way to the 7th ward, the merchant.
Oh no! Before we leave, actually, could
Sure.
we don some more suitable attire?
Yes, Richter will be adopting the face of Folletti, and Folletti will be wearing the most beautiful red, gilded, brocaded clothes, gorgeous in their finery, resplendent.
And Dutch, I'll say, after a short time, you go and see Numbers. Numbers opens his large wardrobe of various costumes that he owns, and he passes you
He's got the Mr. Ben
a
wardrobe.
slightly moth-eaten, but large enough to fit you doublet, a sort of dark maroon doublet that you could put on over the top, and some hose.
Hose man.
You affix some of your various rings, and you both set off towards the merchant.
I'd like to take the whip.
Sure.
How come? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
It's a pleasure.
Well, what's the? No. Why you got that?
What? Because it gives me a 5-foot reach and I can poison people.
We're just going to talk to some sex workers, Dutch.
Are you leaving? Are you leaving the halberd?
Yeah.
You can bonus action summon it to you. That's far.
I'm gonna leave it. Don't need it for now.
Can I conceal the snake?
You can put it in the bag of withholding.
No, I'll put it in my trousers. Thank you.
Okay. You can put it under the doublet to an extent. Yeah.
Could I not put it in the hose?
It's a belt.
The hose are very tight, and it would look like a very weird long penis.
I think that's what he wants.
It wouldn't look like that. It would look like he's got coiled ropes shoved
If he
down his
coiled
throat.
it, I imagine he just would put it all the way down so it pokes out at the bottom by his
Got some
shoe.
coiled rope for you, pal.
Regardless, you do your best to hide it, and
Yeah.
you make your way to Madame Crimson's. Within the merchant ward, it's bustling, midday. The bazaars are packed with various people selling goods. You hear a couple of people shouting, "Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second." For a man who knows how to make money, war can be a most profitable venture. You hear various things. In fact, on your way there, you pass through some canals, and Richter, you hear a very, very high pitch, like humming noise, like a chime, like a continuous sort of chiming noise.
I want to follow that.
You begin to follow it down towards the actual canal. You have to take some stairs to get down to the water level. And growing sort of up the side is a load of bushes and sort of plants that have managed to cling on to the side. And you can hear the noise emanating from within the bush.
Some kind of noisy root of some sort.
Reaching in and plucking
Not
out
that I would know the name.
a slight glowing root type vegetable. You pull from the bush. It hums, but as soon as you pluck it from the soil and place it into your pocket, it ceases to hum.
As soon as you pluck one, it starts a quest that you will never finish.
Comes across your screen. You can
You will
write
never
down.
do this
You
quest.
can write down in your inventory Nern root. You have a
Nern root.
root.
Henry.
Is it inventory or inventory?
I say both, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, you make your way to Madame Crimson's. It's a large building, like a 4-story sort of ramshackle building of kind of dark oak wood, squashed up between lots of other taverns and pubs in this area. But it looks pristine. It doesn't look like it looks old. It looks like it's been here a long time, and with that maybe comes some kind of prestige or some kind of like renown to it.
Yeah.
The people, there's like steps that sort of lead up to it, although the outside seems like it's shut at this time of day when you get there. The door is closed. There doesn't seem to be anyone in. Well, the curtains are shut at least.
I'd like
There's
to
knocking.
knock on the
Yeah.
door. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. You knock on the door, and eventually someone opens it a tad. You see a man, sort of slick in some kind of oil in the candlelight from within, kind of shimmering off him. He's wearing little to nothing, but for like a sort of a collar piece around his neck that has a small sort of gem, like a ruby, a crimson sort of ruby around his neck. He essentially informs you that they only take bookings, and that they are they don't recognise you. And what booking do you have? How are you going to get past this part of the challenge?
Richter would like to withdraw a small bag with 10 gold pieces in it that clink together so noisily and nice. And he would like to say, well, we're just a couple of out-town man and men who are, shall we say, looking for a little daytime excursion, sir. You sure you cannot accommodate us?
You can roll me a persuasion check, but I'm going to give you disadvantage because 10 gold is not very much.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay.
He looks at the small coin purse.
First
one,
like 500 gold per session kind of place.
All right, first one 15, second one nat 20.
Oh, well, still.
So overall a 15. Uh-oh, he's
Oh,
lag.
no.
He's lagged out. He's lagged out.
We have to wait and see what he says. How long do we wait?
Need something?
Oh,
Need something?
Hello?
15.
He'll catch
15.
it. A 15 overall?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He sighs and he says he might be able to squeeze you in. However, it's going to cost you more than that. If you want to enter in this way, you are required to pay 500 gold pieces. You can have the success if you want.
Nothing but it.
Or you can take the failure.
Yeah, I cannot see any other option. Yeah, I'm just going to have to go ahead and... Yeah, 500 gold.
Okay, have you got 500 gold?
I do. I'm carrying a lot more than that.
Okay, in that case, you palm over 500 gold. And, well, he lets you in first, And you go into this very lavish interior. There's many like curtains. There's drapery. They get you a drink each. The drink is some delicious Alto wine. He got it in there.
You got it. Yeah.
And eventually,
a wheel of cheese.
Eventually, they ask you what your taste is. They say you are going to have to share if you're only paying 500. It's 500 for the one person.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
What they ask you what your taste is. What are you saying?
We would like, shall we say, an experienced girl, someone who I don't want one of the frightened waifs. We would prefer someone who's got a little stretch to her.
Oh God, that last bit. Dutch, what are you doing currently?
Oh, Dutch is just gonna be
Giggling like a giddy schoolgirl.
trying not to fucking shit. No, Dutch is gonna start touching himself.
Oh.
Ain't that right, Gore? He likes him a little older.
No. He says, please refrain. Please refrain from doing that in here. I'm glad this isn't fully role played. Eventually, they lead you to a room.
I'm sad it's not.
And a very, very beautiful woman comes in who looks to be probably in her late 30s. She looks to be probably one of the older, more experienced people within the establishment. You want to get information out of her, correct? So
yes.
How are you going to achieve that? You need to move on to the next stage of your skill challenge. So it could be you.
Are we role playing or just talking?
No, we don't need to role play this.
I mean,
tell me you're proficient in performance.
Do you want me to go, Dutch, or do you want to do something? Because
no,
I've got ideas.
I'm just gonna sit back.
He's just gonna sit back.
Don't
and
do that.
Don't
do that.
What happened to this
You
session?
get in there.
This hasn't
You
happened
get in
in
there
a
straight
time.
away, and Richter is like, he's trying to get information, and Dutch just lies on the bed and is just like, oh shit.
So it is the place.
And Richter's like talking, and then he's like,
Remember the mission.
what the fuck?
Dutch, roll a
Richter-
strength check.
No, I'm gonna let Richter do the talking. Is the
Yep,
the
sure.
head. There's two ways this could go, and one way of them is awful.
Okay.
So,
Dutch, do you have animal handling?
I don't like how you said that.
Richter will say that he's, and this isn't a lie, Richter is planning to attend a party for Lord Balthazar later, being from out of town, and wishing to impress Lord Balthazar, he would like a little insight into the man's tastes.
What skill are you going to use?
Persuasion.
Have you not already used that? At the door?
Fuck. Shit. All right. Shit. Okay, I guess it's going to be deception. Damn it. Okay, fuck. Okay. Oh, boy. Come on. It is... It's 3. Oh, shit. It's... Shit. Map becomes...
Oh no.
Oh, it's 12. God damn it.
She tells you that she can't possibly divulge that information about one of her clients. And you at least gauge that she has met with him before. You, Richter, not Dutch, he's busy and also has low wisdom. You do gauge a slight... like there's almost like a slight twinge of fear beneath her visage for a sec when you mention his name, but then it comes back on, and she's a professional, but is unfortunately a failure as she begins undressing you.
Oh no!
And
I don't know about I don't know about that.
No, you were like, no, I just watch, and so she moves over to Dutch. Dutch, are you resisting? What's happening?
I'm gonna stop her and be like, I admire what you're trying to do for me, but that doesn't do it.
We would like to see you dance. That is our taste.
Sure. She starts to dance. What are you going to do to get the information out of her? You've still got part of this skill challenge left.
Guys, you're gonna have to impress her. That's the only way to do it.
Yes, Richter. Yes. Richter will sit on what I'm sure that a room as plush as this has, like a chaise longue. I don't know how you pronounce that. A nice chair.
Yeah.
Richter will recline on it in a foppish, disaffected rich man kind of move, slight wrist going. And then Richter will take out his tome and begin to paint her like one of his French girls. Richter will use performance to sketch her as beautifully as he can and really try and capture something. All right, can I do this?
Wait, how much time do we have? Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Come on. Oh, it's a crit fail.
Oh.
God damn it.
That counts as 2 failures, which means you've failed 3 times, which is unfortunately the full thing. You begin to draw her, but there's something wrong. You just can't help yourself. You keep drawing her in, you start drawing her, and then you start adding horns and multiple limbs onto her, and then you sketch it again, and then you sketch it again, and you keep just sketching the same horned, multi-limbed figure that you've seen before in various tapestries and scrawlings, and you just keep going and you keep going. Eventually she comes over and snatches the book out of your hands, and she's like, I don't know what's going on here, but you both need to leave. And she shuts the book, and she's like, I'm done, and begins walking out. Eventually you are forced to leave.
I'm out 500 gold.
We can all chip in.
And it was unfortunately not a success, but well done nonetheless. Well done. Zook, your spell probably didn't take too long. Is there anything else you wanted to do, or are you going to wait for the others?
Yes. Can I see if the Docrats have any kind of potion or alchemy set? I imagine they might work with criminal chemicals. Might have something wherewithal.
Numbers has like a small collection of poisons, pretty basic poisons, mainly rat poisons. But he's bought them all. He's not a purveyor of that, and doesn't unfortunately have those.
Does he know where anyone might have one?
He's like, you could go to a potion shop, but usually you can't use their.
If you said before, I could have left you mine.
Yeah, can we wreck on that?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Is that cool? Yeah. I'm just going to attempt to brew a filter of love from my lover's thorn that I've got, I believe, from the library in the astral plane. I think I picked it up there. But yes,
the lover's thorn.
The lover's thorn.
Oh, you got it from Nolx's menagerie, like his greenhouse.
His little...
Holy shit! Yeah, I remember now.
Duke, I've got some Shasuva venom. That might be too deadly.
Yes, some Shasuva.
I know you've tasted blood, Rufus, but
determined to despoil every bit of cunning.
It's an option.
Every bit of cunning that we have.
What did you say to Ganon to rile him so much? Like,
it's just slowly jabbing him in the side with a small knife.
Okay, so yeah, make me an alchemy check.
Okay.
Delayed.
Is it? I always
delayed.
Oh, it's a no, you can use a herbalism kit to do this because it's from the herbalist bundle.
Okay, cool. So it's wisdom and proficiency.
So it's wisdom and proficiency. Yep.
Cool. That's 21.
Yeah, easily done. Takes an hour, but now you have a filter of love.
Sweet. So with that,
how does that work?
So if you drink it, the next time you see a creature within 10 minutes after drinking this filter, you become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. If the creature is of a species and gender you are normally attracted to, you regard it as your true love while you are charmed.
And at least we know what one of his favourite prostitutes looks like.
Indeed.
A badger.
A goat. I'm coming up with all kinds of shit in my head.
No, I mean, right, who's gonna Richter's gonna have to disguise himself as a tabaxi or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Or dragonborn even.
Could we?
Oh,
they ain't got the same organs, man. They're laying eggs and shit.
Yeah, he might like that.
No, that's, I don't know.
Okay. What's next? Are you all heading back to collectively meet up? After those
I
excursions?
presume we're going to do the actual heist next session.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess still need to put together like an action plan of what we're
Let's
actually.
discuss.
Let's discuss.
Let's clear a table, get some like schematics out.
Yeah.
And, like plan a point of entry.
Let's fucking montage, baby.
So over the next little bit, you make your way back through the rat ways to Doc Rat's hideout, and you begin to discuss your plan of action for the day. Fandel gets in touch after the 3 hours and says, "Fandel here. Are you in need of assistance yet? I have required the small outfits that you requested."
I'm most grateful, Fandel. However, we have more business to attend to, but the action commences at dusk. We will be in contact, but do contact me again at the agreed hours for updates on the day.
And you begin discussing...
What are the costumes for?
I thought just in case me and you need to pose as members of the Mages University, because that could be, they might be guests at the party. I don't know how it works in the city.
Very well.
And also it makes more sense why I'm floating around for no apparent reason.
As you all begin to montage, sitting around a table, kind of plotting the main plan, darkness takes you all as the room begins to sort of spin quicker and quicker and quicker until it finally slows down once more, and you're met with the visage of some tied and bound figures on the back of a cart, and one turns to you and says, "You there, are you awake?" And that is where we'll end today's session.
Outstanding.
So, between now and next week, I think it's a good idea that you guys all have your action plan. That montage can happen between sessions.
It's the big one.
And then next session will be the heist, or at least the beginning of the heist. Who knows how long it will take.
That's right, lads. We're going to steal an elder.
Judging by our track record over the last few weeks, it may take us another 6 sessions of heist.
Yeah. Well, I want to do some combat and stuff, but who knows if that's even going to happen. So,
well,
is that still a part of the game?
It sure
Ganon
is.
got his, right? So
Ganon got his, yeah.
Fucking
he
Ganon.
Did.
Taking our combat.
Man, shanked and shanked till the early morn. Thanks for watching, everyone. For our special Skyrim themed session.
That surely was.
Big props.
We'll be back on track next week, sure. Of course.
We will. Yeah. Big props to Rupert for making himself a circlet and mead themed bottle. You've done us proud. You have done us
Good job.
proud.
Thank you, Bethesda.
In the immortal words of Ben Howard. Is it Ben Howard? No, who is it?
Oh God,
the singer.
Todd Howard.
Yeah, the singer.
Todd Howard. It's Todd Howard.
Yeah.
Todd Howard. Who's Ben Howard? The singer.
He's like a
Cornish Christian folk singer.
In the immortal words of Todd Howard. Fusrodar.
Fuck you, man.
This is gonna be our best video game yet.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy it 9 times.
Do you know how many times I've bought it? Do
The
you know how
Elder
many
Scrolls
times?
6
We're
is
so
actually just Skyrim Extended Edition.
The trees look better.
Everything looks better, but it's got all the things you love. It's got
We've integrated
Denethor.
realistic mist.
It's got giants. It's got
cabbages.
Lydia.
Kill you.
When Fallout 3 came out, people called it Oblivion with guns. Well, for the new version of Skyrim, we've introduced guns.
Aiden,
Fallout 76.
Oh, man.
That's the new Skyrim.
They're bringing out Starfield.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
Starfield?
I haven't seen
It's like-
anything.
It's an
sci-fi.
Xbox exclusive. Looks interesting.
It's only going to be Xbox.
Yeah, they got
Oh.
exclusivity because
It's not
Uh,
PC at all.
Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yep.
Yeah,
But then
Elder
what
Scrolls
about
6 will be
Xbox
great.
Game Pass on PC?
I don't know. You could do it through Game Pass.
Oh, well, yeah, it's still Microsoft. So, yeah, I could imagine that going on PC too.
That's true. They've got theirs.
I would have
Anyway,
to comfort myself with Bloodborne.
thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
Peace. We will see you next week
Adios.
for the heist, and this is where that music comes in. Where it's like,
Yeah.
It's a job that's nearly impossible, but it's not quite.
Don't take any arrows to the knee.